Hello, welcome everybody to Summer Premier League. This is week 5 in the 5th season, and this is going to be a heated match between Gawr's first grade class versus the Summit admins. It's going to be game number 1. I'm your host, Connor, followed by my co host, Andrew. And yeah, we're getting ready to do the picks and the bans here in just a second.
Yep,
Andrew, how you
gotta
doing?
be. I'm doing pretty good, my man. You gotta be excited to see exactly what these teams are going to put on the on the board. Now, obviously, Guard did graduate to the first grade. We're all very, very proud of them for making it this far. And then, obviously, I don't know why we're casting the game. We're against the Summit admin, so I'd imagine that we just have to call it in their favor. I think it's how we keep our jobs, right? Am I crazy? Or
True.
should
Yeah,
it be
we're
the other
gonna
way
have an
around?
unemployed team coming up, but yeah, we got the first grade class, so I mean, we got child labor just ahead of us here.
Oh my god, yeah, you had to put it there. But you know what? Hey man, I hear you. But either way, we are going to get into these picks and bans to see exactly what these two want to put themselves onto the Rift with. Now, so far, so many. We've got the Skarner, we've got the Seraphine, and we've also got the Hwei, I believe that is as well. Taken off the board. The Skarner definitely makes sense right now. He's still plenty a strong pick, plenty of map control, and obviously that long range on the suppression, getting multiple targets has really been a big deal, especially tied up with something like the Seraphine. So I am excited to see exactly what they decide to put themselves on the board with, as it looks like the Janna actually for the final ban as well, really kind of putting some pressure down in the bottom lane, looks like. Or at least warning on the support bans, but I'm curious to see exactly what their first picks are going to be now we're getting onto the board.
Well, I mean, as a Blitzcrank one trick, I want to see a Blitzcrank get picked out here. I'd be really sad if he was banned, but I don't think that's going to be happening since we have all the Enchanter supports being banned as well. So I don't know. I want some heated action. Let's see something crazy like Pantheon support. How about it? That would go absolutely nuts.
That, listen, man, Pantheon support is definitely not exactly the craziest thing I've seen in the world. Looks like so far we got the Yasuo. They're going to be the first thing to go on to the pick field in this rather large screen. Now, Yasuo obviously going to be overly aggressive, going to have plenty of means to stack up that flow and just kind of be overall an annoyance. It's really more a matter of do you want to even bother with him in your face, or would you rather just kind of let him bounce around and farm up and then hit that classic O10 power spike we know him for? But for right now, we're gonna see exactly what red side team decides to respond with. Obviously, it's a matter of it's also a flex. We could go top technically instead of just mid, but looks like the seven admins going for the Corki, a competitor that we've seen more than enough times become
Ooh,
more and more of a
okay.
threat now in the current patch.
Isn't Corky like super busted right now? Pretty sure
Absolutely, he
Corky's
is.
mad broken.
Yeah, Corky right now is going pretty crazy. He just has so many tools, so many ways to kind of get in your face. The Gatling gun damage, and especially the phosphorus bomb, and the way that it seems to be stacking. You've seen a lot of Corkies go for like Infinity Edge, straight into Collector. So sorry, Collector straight into Infinity Edge. Not even necessarily going for something more like a Triforce, which is original OG Corky's bread and butter. And the Cassante being picked up as well means you're gonna have a pretty hefty front line meat wall to go in front of that Cork and give him plenty of time to scale up and do his damage in these team fights.
Yeah, I'm liking the two picks so far, abusing what's OP right now and yeah, like you said the meat wall. Meanwhile, we got looks like we're trying to clip farm with the Yasuo pick. 7 seconds, man. We are really just putting us on edge. Like who's next? Nautilus. Ooh, that's close enough to Blitzcrank. That's like a Blitzcrank at home. So I mean, that's actually that's a good pick. We like to see that. That's and he's got the knockup too. It works really well with Yasuo. I mean, Blitzcrank's got the knockup, but this is like Yas or what's his name? Nautilus. His ulti, dude. That knockup is gonna be crazy. We find one good Nautilus ulti, and man, that wombo combo is gonna be insane. You can knock up everybody if you get a perfect one.
Yeah, Nautilus in general is definitely a really good support pick. Not one that we've seen crazy often. Well, not say crazy, but at least not often in pro play, I would say. And really, the reason why is that he's just very he's very committal. Once you land that hook, you're really kind of stuck inside of a team fight. But definitely with something like the Yas with the amount of knockups and other ways you have, and obviously just it being a giant point and click that can also land multiple members, it really is a good pick when you need it situationally, especially paired up with something like the Karthus who wants that heavy lockdown. You have the root, you have the slow, you have the knock of the Nautilus just to stand and lay waste both literally and figuratively onto the target. Meanwhile, the Poppy being picked up directly picked into only that Yasuo, I would say at this point. The Nautilus Q, technically dash, is not exactly something you're looking to block, and obviously Karthus not really getting blocked by anything. So we'll see what exactly the first grade class decides to respond to, as it looks like some admins are already responding with the Silas ban.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm so torn about Silas as a character, man. The stealing ultimates thing is just so good, and like, why are we putting it on like one of the strongest, like little kind of mobile, like mage fighter things, whatever he is, like stupid hybrid OP, like dumb care, like bruh, he's crazy OP, man. I'm glad to see him banned. Like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
I also I like the Poppy pick, but I feel like it kind of gives away too much, right? Like we automatically know that's Jungle Poppy. Like there's no doubt in my mind, right? Or
Uh,
or maybe are we gonna see support Poppy?
I mean, I think it's a flex pick. I think exactly the reason why you pick it in this first round, especially on pick 3, is just that way you know that you have two of your lanes that are more defined. That you feel like about it's a lot harder to flex on a top lane or AD carry. So say, okay, fine, you don't know if this is going jungle or support. I wouldn't be surprised if someone happens to even pick their mid lane here first, and then use that as a means to kind of keep that flex going, and that way it's still unsure whether this will be a jungle or a support Poppy, especially considering you don't know what's in the bot lane, whether there's going to be some kind of dash or usable for something like that. In the meanwhile, though, we do see the rest of the bands come through we want to talk about. The Vladimir going as well means that Summit admins definitely want to avoid these kind of mid lane picks, especially ones that are going to be scaling and having more presence in the late game. The Soraka pickup does mean that it actually is going to be Jungle Poppy, as you were theoretically expecting. So now we just going to leave mid lane for that R5. And then in the meanwhile, on the other side, the Renata and the Ari ban, a little bit of mobility trying to go away from the mid lane, but also clearly the Renata ban, meaning that they don't want something that's going to have that giant high pressure ultimate to really go into the rest of the team, especially one that's relatively immobile so far, and with things like the Carthus and the Nautilus that don't want to get hostile takeover.
Okay, Andrew, help me understand something.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I mean, as a Blitzcrank player, I love playing against champions like Janna, Seraphine, Renata, and the admins respond by picking up Soraka. Like we're seeing all these enchanters banned, and I have no idea why. And we have an enchanter picked too, so it's like, what's the reasoning behind this? Is there some sort of combo I'm not seeing or understanding that's like super OP?
The most that I can imagine is that you already have the Poppy and you already have the Cassandra. You know that you have more than enough tank presence. Maybe they're just kind of looking for something that's not going to be a heavy engage. I think also an Enchanter with Corki kind of keeping him up and running, especially with some extra attack speed on something maybe like a potential Ardent Sensor, is really valuable. So that's the most that I could think of, is that they already know they have enough tankiness in their top and jungle duo. Why bother kind of triple down on it? Especially something like a Karthus that
Wait
maybe
a
you just want
minute.
to make sure your carry stays
There's no
healthy.
AD carry in the first class.
It,
Who's
it,
going
it's
by?
Yasuo. It's Yasuo to carry. It's
Yo, oh my
yeah, it's Yasuo to
lord.
carry. Which I was going to say is that effectively this is also why, and much is going to be a very rare idea, but it's why you wanted to wait for that R5 mid, as you wanted to wait and see exactly what's going to go in. The Gwen getting locked in, going into what seems to be the Swain on the mid side for the side of Gawr's first rank class. So we have our lanes pretty much picked out. We know it's going to be the Corki Soraka in the bot lane in combination with, again, going against the Yasuo and the Nautilus. Now, a lot more range, obviously, on the summon admins means that there might be a way where in which they come out of this lane fine, but obviously one not hook is going to land. Yasuo's gonna have an easy way to dash their minions, and that's gonna be a pretty rough lane with the only real escape being the Corki Valkyrie. So they actually might be looking more towards Soraka to trade onto her and just take that immobile support and really get some value out of it. The solo laners are going to be more the interesting thing, especially in my opinion on that bottom side. So sorry, not bottom, on the mid side, with the Swain and the Gwen, because Gwen into Swain is kind of a known matchup that does tend to work in Gwen's favor, because Swain is still a little bit of a lower range mage. But Swain right now, with that multiple uses of Demon Flare and just the amount of health steal he gets, especially with something like Azanius to stall him out, really has become high pressure on the current patch.
Uh, dude, this man, this game is mad confusing me. Like, there's so many wild picks that like have like switched up. Like Gwen, there's like three potential top laners, and these jungle picks are like Loki kind of weird too, honestly.
Mhm. Well, I mean, Poppy Jungle, if anything, made sense originally when you were thinking to yourself that, okay, you know you have the Yasuo, it's at least something that you can try to dissuade them from locking in certain other champ picks. At this point, though, it does kind of fall on their face, if only because Yasuo is actually the only champion that Poppy's going to really be able to stall with that steadfast presence. So there is maybe a bit of a question of exactly what is Poppy going to be able to do in this matchup in its current state. I think the only other thing that kind of this comes down to is, okay, you know that Poppy is maybe going to be a little bit less effective. The solo lanes are going to be very up close and personal. The Gwen and the Cassante both obviously being melee champs. And while you're going to have a hefty meat wall for Corky, the question is, do you really need to worry about a meat wall if you can just break through the wall while keeping Corky at range? Because Karthus, obviously, the lay waste and the defile is going to be a huge amount of damage. Yorick does an excellent job at zoning people away with things like the Maiden and like his build up wall. And Swain obviously is going to be a pretty hefty wall himself with that Demon Flare and that Health Steal. So I'm curious to see exactly the summon admins break through this wall if Corky damage is enough, or if you have to worry about Yasuo dashing through a minion wave and really causing a problem for them.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, man. Like is Corky really that OP that he's gonna be able to do as much damage as like we're dealing with Karthus and Swain and possibly York? Because I mean, I know Cassante kind of has like some secret damage, but like he's mostly kind of defensive. Poppy kind of has that same aspect too. Like she's really tanky and like kind of low key, kind of hard to kill. But sometimes she just secretly whips out the damage. But like for the most part, like they're not really there for like huge mega damage just right up front right there. Like that's not what they're like completely known for. It's just kind of like comes with their kit naturally if it's done right.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a case of I will admit out of all these picks, I haven't really talked about it much, of only because I'm really not sure like what to say at this point. The York is the real pick that kind of has me scratching my head, only because yes, you want side lane pressure, and yes, you'll have it. And I would say that in some extents, Cassante into York is not exactly a great matchup for Cassante. It means that if you manage to land the E and get the ghouls onto him, he really doesn't have a lot of response. There is a world where Cassante just is able to out pressure York, that even if York maybe gets side lane pressure, you clear with someone like Corky and use Cassante for team fights. So
Mm,
I'm a little bit more curious about that pick and whether or not it's going to really fit their purpose. Yes, it draws side lane pressure, and yes, it's a bit of an early threat, but Yorick on 3 items and Cassante versus 3 items. Again, a team fight scenario. Cassante just pulls Yorick away and really makes that fight unplayable. And even to an extent, you could argue that Soraka kind of like trying to get a root down or getting some slows. And well, actually, no, not even Soraka, but the Yorick is going to have a hard time being stopped. But I think that Yorick also is not going to give this team what it's looking for, besides some early game pressure in the laning phase.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into it pretty soon, everybody. We're gonna take a quick break and then we will be back with all the action. Welcome back, everybody, to Summit Premier League Season 5, Week 5. We are, oh my goodness, we
Oh
are
my
running into it.
god!
First blood right off the bat. Casante wipes
Immediately.
off, looks like Brissy there. Um, wow, okay. So just straight into it, off the gates. It looked like we were just going for a 5-second invade, and Summit admins just like called it. They just knew, so good for
Yeah,
them.
they were immediately there, ready to go. I mean, honestly, it comes off the idea that you know that if anyone's going to be looking for that kind of early pressure and lane location, it's going to be the Yasuo and the Nautilus when you have so many, so much pressure of dropping that early hook and really getting this kind of committal style, which it's funny. We were talking earlier about how exactly I don't want to say issue, but one of the things about Nusa, how committal he can be. And so obviously in a lane like a Yasuo and Nautilus, you really enjoy that being that kind of heavy commit. And so I think
Yeah.
that definitely makes sense that originally the idea was going to be
True.
big
Yeah,
one.
Nautilus is he's a little man. Ladies love him. It's very true. And not you mean what's his name?
I'm
Yasuo, not so
Yeah, I'm
much. He
just
can slip in and out of those DMs so quickly, like it literally in like a half second. So
truly, it's and listen, man, it's what you got to do in this day and age, right? But yeah, so yeah, Nautilus being committal does kind of work well in this lane. So obviously the idea was okay, we get into this bush, we see them coming back from maybe like either helping out with leashing or whatever it is, and then we can kind of get the jump on them. Obviously didn't quite work out in their favor, and not for nothing, I didn't even think about this because Sante going into the mid lane instead of going to the top lane. Does kind of change perspective actually in a very good amount of ways. First off, that first blood going to do great for him, getting that early ruby crystal, having a lot more safety in this early lane. But more importantly, it does mean that Gwen to the York, which not for nothing is absolutely a much better matchup for the Gwen, knowing about you're able to dodge ghouls with your hallowed mist, and not for nothing, those 1,000 cuts will hurt when on fully stat Q, and York needing to be in melee range does definitely make things a lot easier for him.
yeah. We noticed that level 2 get up right there. Put Corki in a very aggressive position. Like Nautilus, the discipline to hold that hook, but that really massive level advantage of 2 to 1. Gotta really bite your tongue right there. So nice job, I guess, having that self-control. But now we are level 2 and level 2, and we want to make some plays. Gargoomba's already slipping, sliding all over those DMs like nothing. He's right back to normal, getting those minions. But lost a good chunk of health right there. Actually, the trades are looking not so nice. We are losing all of our Yu-Gi-Oh cards here in bot lane, but we need to quickly recuperate. Asian Jason coming in bot side for possibly a lane gank right here. Slowly floating in. Here comes Gargoomba.
Flash.
And the hook. There's the flash. There's the exhaust. Here's a
wall
flash
pain.
wall. How about that? The flash Donald Trump special coming in clutch. And here's
Poppy.
Gourmet Cookies for the counter gank. Brissy's super low, and he's going to slam Brissy into a wall and, take him out just like that. Bada boom, bada bing. Goodbye. And, everyone's going to retreat. They're pretty low as well. Gourmet Cookies going to just, put the nail in the coffin on that one. And well played. A solid counter gank from the Summit admin.
The time and pressure that they need for themselves. Oh. All the time pressure that they need for themselves in order to get themselves ahead. Now, right now, for the state and age of the game, this is going to be a lot more than they bargained for, especially considering that this Yasuo and this Nautilus have a lot still to work on, and 2 deaths on Nautilus definitely not where you want to be when you know that Corki is eventually going to scale up. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be better or worse than the Yasuo, but right now having your ranged carry with an advantage is definitely the last place Gawr's first rate class want to see. Now he's going to jump in again.
He wants all the smoke right now. He's going back in. He's getting the knockup, and he drops him pretty low. Brissy's going to try to finish him off right here. Slapping Lord Tubbaton with a giant anchor, but he does not do enough damage.
Oh!
Gargoomba goes in for the flash. He does not care. He is going kamikaze mode. And they trade. The 80 carry and the Yasuo trade kills. Gourmet Cookies wants blood right now, but I don't think they're going to get much right here. It is so dangerous to try to approach a hook character when they are under tower. You already know that they're going to hook you right under that bad boy and keep you there as long as they can.
A lot of good plays there, especially from Gawr. You have to give credit. He saw the low health Soraka. He knew if he jumped in the right way and got himself at the right foot, he was going to be able to barely pick it up. I almost thought when he didn't get the tornado Q that it was going to be all for naught, but barely managing to come back and pick up what he needed to. So it is going to end up being a 1-for-1 trade. Thanks to honestly some good time from Corki.
All over the place, man. He doesn't quite get that knock back into the wall right there.
Oh, Soraka's here. Hold on, Soraka's here.
And this like a crit Soraka right now, just going in with these auto attacks, so massive. Nice job by over the wall, but Gourmet Cookies coming back in, trying to get all that they can. That was a super solid kill
Oh,
right there. I don't know who got that kill, but Swain locking it down with that, I believe with the E.
never moved.
Odysseus, nice job by catching that Soraka.
Yeah, Swain landing the never move there over the wall was absolutely the pivotal point in there, and not for nothing. You know, I understand what Soraka's trying to go for. She thinks she can get some pressure on the Karthus, but you are still a level 2 or sorry level 3 at that point. Soraka with really very little very little damage so to speak of. You're more there for your utility. So be the one to walk into the face of a Karthus who has a lot of single target damage. Be the place you want to go. But here's Poppy on the top side, gonna
Ooh,
knock.
dodging the little Yorick wall circle right there. That was crazy. But it's just kind of a flashy move and nothing special. Wujin's just gonna stand on business right here in top lane. He's got the ulti out and not really gonna be bothered much by that gank. But kind of some flashy moves by Gourmet Cookies, don't lie.
Yeah, this is truly where the Yorick does start to come into play. He's basically not a champion until he hits level 6, and then once he is, he starts to become even more of a problem. He has the Maiden, he has the extra damage, and especially not to mention the fact that the Maiden does have its own moves.
Looks like a missed opportunity to get Brissy here. Brissy just walked past a free gank, but it probably doesn't even matter. Swain, you know what? Brissy already knew that Swain didn't need any help whatsoever. It's a Swain mid with full health versus a Cassante with a quarter health left, so not much was going to be happening there, but you always love a kill secure. You never know what could happen, right? So Cassante could dash away. He could have flashed away. He did it in this situation because he wanted to hold it for next game. But Gourmet Cookies in a rough situation right here. We are locked into the Yorick while no flashy moves to get out by Gourmet Cookies here. Unlucky, and we are going. The world keeps spinning. That's how it is.
The first grade class is taking the Summit admins to school right now with all these different cross-map plays. Obviously, it looks like they could tell that the Summit admins were getting a little bit more aggressive. If it wasn't the Soraka play, then it was definitely Cassante pushing that wave with very little mana and less than a third HP as Swain just kind of walks up, lands the E, and says thank you for the 300. And then even on top side, they saw Poppy make the repeat gank. They know that she was looking for this Yorick, trying to pressure him out of lane, and obviously not quite getting the job done the way that they wanted to. So right now, Summon Admin's taking a little bit of some kind of bonus trading damage back, not in the way that they'd want to. They definitely still have the CS lead in the mid lane and in the bottom lane, but even
dude,
in
those like I hate Yorick for that reason right there. Like a wand just steps up just for like a half second, and Yorick's like, "No, I'm just gonna press a button, and there goes half your HP. Like enjoy that. Like I'll be back in a bush just backing. Like, all right, man. Like that's so crazy. What a champion."
Yeah, as a top lane tank main, I've learned how to deal with Yorick, and it's basically called playing Shen. And if you don't do that, then I don't know what else to do. Especially against something like the Maiden, just being able to kind of sit there in your face.
Shen is actually really strong now, but no Shens in this match, unfortunately. For wait, was he banned at all? I can't remember.
No, Shen was not banned. Just nobody picked him. If somebody, let me tell you, the day that I'm on this cast and somebody picks Shen, Maron, am I gonna have a lot to talk about? Anyway, for right now though, it looks like the gold is not too far off. Obviously, first grade class
has been roaming around the map so much. Look at them; they're just an absolute scout right now.
Yeah, but this is the problem though.
Getting kind of slapped up right now though, overstepping maybe just a little bit too much. They might be caught out right here. Ulti's away. I forgot who that was, but it's getting completely worked right now. Cassante takes away the Karthus. Wow, that was actually kind of like a low-key turnaround for Gourmet Cookies. Gourmet Cookies didn't get sniped up. They ultied away the Swain, and then Cassante came in for the hero mode and just totally clutched out against Karthus.
Yeah, by the skin of her teeth. Soraka managed to land that ult just in time before Poppy got taken out, with just enough extra time for Cassante to walk up, get that all out, and just give up. Chance
Gawr Goomba going in super nasty with that ulti right there, but I don't. Okay, we have the exhaust. They're getting knocked up right now. Gawr Goomba actually getting pretty low. Strand's gonna flash away, try to get that kite mode, and gets the kite mode action.
Soraka heal.
Not gonna be able to finish it off. We have a Soraka healing him up, and now Bracey's gonna run away. That's totally gonna be another kill. Yep, Lord Tubby picks up that one, but the red team pick up a nice defensive move. If Bracey hit that initial hook, maybe Strand would have died, but hard to say.
That was immediately just the power of Soraka there, keeping Corki alive, just really through the exhaust, through everything. Swain looking for his pound of flesh. Not gonna get it. Hold on. Here comes the Cassante.
Cassante comes in for the counter TP. It's just not quite enough spacing. I don't know if there was like a reaction possibility there, but it was a good try. I saw the vision.
Yeah, right now, Casante knew that at least at that point he could make sure that Swain didn't get anything further and just kind of get the trade back where he can. But hold on, now he gets a lot of damage down. This is what the problem is, Casante.
Yep, yep. And good night. You just get clapped by two giant rocks whenever he's moving.
I hear. Listen, okay, Casante. He is very fair and balanced. And I say this is Casante player. I got
Speaking of fair and balanced, not fair and balanced that we have gourmet cookies on our team, but they did not get the steal right there, unfortunately. It looked like they were going to. I thought gourmet cookies had something cooking right there, but unfortunately, no. The dragon goes down to blue team, and so does gourmet cookies, and they are gonna walk away slightly happier than they were before when they were down 4-7.
Yeah, Gourmet Cookies right now is definitely making his presence very known, is doing an excellent job of that. The problem is that he is definitely suffering for it in other ways. 30 CS down to the cards, as we can see in the gold tab, over 1,000 gold, and that's only at 11.5 minutes. It's definitely still a lot more time to be played, so to be this far down in gold already is definitely a little bit rough. Now, ultimately, Poppy is still doing exactly what she needs to do. She's being there to be disruptive, to be in everybody's face. The question is, she going to be able to keep it up, though? Is Corky, look at that damage on the Yasuo.
Dude,
this is what this Corky, this is what this champion is meant to do.
Crazy. I don't know what that's from. If it's just like a combination of everything. It's just.
I'm pretty sure it's mostly from the passive, from just like the extra damage and the auto attacks mostly.
Yeah.
That was a Gatling gun trend is just insane nowadays.
It just racked up out of nowhere. Oh, Brissy not quite hitting that hook. The Casante hitting that little dash, but now that little range right there.
Ooh, hold on, there's Poppy.
Gourmet Cookie fighting the wall right there, but Nautilus not gonna be going down too low. Yeah, the red team realizes it.
All pain.
Pretty late to follow up, but yeah, I don't know if they would have gotten much. Nautilus super tanky. But we are going back in for some good action. Rocket dropping super low, Swain doing massive damage, and now they turn onto the Nautilus. The Nautilus turns right back around, and they're half health. They drop down low, and we are ulting the Swain away. Red team kind of low now too. York going to come in for the gank right here.
Not through yet.
Oh, we are trapping Casante. Can we kill Casante? He's tanky, but he's low. And yes, we finish him off. Swain with the shutdown here. We have a flash. We don't quite catch what we were trying to catch, but we do get some minions off. It's not going to be enough to get the kill, though. Are we going to find the person backing in the bush? No, we are not. We are just going to go for grubs, and that will be a victory for the blue team.
What is almost the only champion out of the very rare instances of catching Nautilus in the queue. The main reason you picked that Poppy is that steadfast presence and what it can do to stop Yasuo in his tracks. It is definitely the only reason why those two managed to live there, stopping Yasuo from going for further dash and getting in range after that ultimate was popped in the Requiem.
Dangerous. And
okay. Yep.
Good on Corky to hold that W until Nautilus threw out the hook, but otherwise that was pretty close.
No, definitely pretty close. Still a lot going on the map. Obviously, these teams are very even
trouble right now. Gourmet Cookie's already waiting for a good wall opportunity to slap him up, but for some reason, there's more action top lane. Look at this York running away. Crazy. Okay.
Well, I mean, the main thing is that Kasada is actually starting to knock down the Maiden, which does actually make a huge difference, I think, against York. We've been saying that's what makes him the champion. When that is down, it's a good, I think, minute and a half or 2 minute cooldown, and that's at least time where York's more vulnerable, but I would say right now that was not as valuable as what else we were watching.
Definitely not. Bracey trying to, get a little peekaboo right there. Ooh, are we going to get ganked under tower right now? It's looking kind of spicy. Some action brewing up bot lane. Bracey in a
Nautilus again!
Spot, and he's going to get clapped out by 3 members. Control Alt deleted immediately, and that's going to be a mini dub for the red team right there. Just an easy pick.
Yep, nice little trade for the Summit admins, getting some back on the map where they can. Also going into Gwen's hands, which is definitely very nice. Gives her a bit more of a means to keep herself active. She is going to be the main AP damage, so any kind of kills that go to her is going to always be beneficial. But the card that's being here for the gank means that she's not going to stay there and try to get the solo kill on Gawr, at least not right now.
Speaking of solo kills, I thought something was about to be happening. It's kind of hard for people to commit top. Like, there's not really much kill potential unless like a gank happens, or I don't even know, like just some craziness happens. I guess this is the craziness we've been looking for. There's the Casante.
There we go. There's one.
This is what I was waiting for.
That's exactly what you need to see.
That was crazy. I got what I wanted. All right, I'll shut up now. Or will I? We have Nautilus. Doesn't go in for the hook. Oh, but now they have another second
Okay, hold
opportunity.
on.
They
Flash
don't
hook.
need a flash, but we do anyway
The
because we
flash.
do not care. And we do not know the ranges of our champions.
Poppy
And
ult.
we're going to run away right now.
Knock away
Ooh,
Karthus.
Gourmet Cookies gets that nice little knockback, but
There's
tries to
Demon
finish
Flare.
off Nautilus. Doesn't quite do it. Swain dropping too low. Lord Tubbyton tries to finish it off and does. Gets the Stephen Curry three-pointer from the back line. We love to see it. We are going to support duel off right now. Literally 3 bars of health. What's going to happen? Is Asian Jason or Strain going to pick up a kill right now? It's going to be freebies for somebody, but who knows?
Yeah, right now we still have a lot going on as far as this is concerned. Both supports are low, but with any paired with anybody, it's a full health Pork and full health Karthus. Those are 2 people that would love that lockdown or love that extra bit of poke damage. They are finally going to break off, but that's only because you can see that they're starting to make a play towards his bottom side. Dragon has spawned at East Infernal. It's going to be the only Infernal of the game, as we have not yet hit that 3rd Drake towards Soul.
Well, one cake gonna get in something really nice right here. Brissy.
There's 1, there's 2.
But there's the Gwen ultimate. Oh, and Strand's gonna be able to pick that. Brissy's just been in so many random awkward spots, man. It's just like so hard to get around this red team. They're just always there and always ready. They're like sharks in the water sniffing out the blood. It's like we have 5 Warwicks on the enemy team.
Yeah, Poppy's definitely doing an excellent job right now of keeping herself omnipresent on the map. And I guess, like before, I was saying, like, yeah, she is definitely down in terms of gold. She's clearly given a lot of it over towards Karthus as far as the map is concerned. But ultimately, that's pretty worth it when you look at it and what they're getting in exchange. I mean, you know, ultimately, you know, it's just a lot of damage on Corki. He hasn't quit a Trinity Force. He'll start building up towards that Manamume, because he has.
Oh,
anyway,
here we go. We
now
might be able to pick something up right here. Rift Herald getting drawn back. Oh, here we go. Lord Tubby Time now in an awkward spot.
Nope. Wall of Pain
But it
landed.
doesn't matter. Okay, we pick up the Lord Tubby Time.
Hold on, we're not done.
Splashing away out of danger, but there's some knock-up bananas happening right now. Gourmet Cookie's gonna knock out Asian Jason back in the business, and Rift's gonna get picked up out of nothing. Gourmet Cookie's dropping super low, but Karthus also drops 2, goes out with an ultimate, and here we go. Let's get a boom! Slap up everybody. Garguma comes in to finish up and sweep it up. Oh, we have. Oh my goodness! Gwen comes
that's
out
Gwen
with the 1v1.
And there's Cassante.
I'm not as hyped because we all knew Cassante's OP was gonna clean it up anyways. But oh man, that Gwen v Yasuo at the dude, and someone was exhausted too. Who had the exhaust? Was that? It looked like both players exhausted. No, it was. Man, Gwen got exhausted by Yasuo, and Gwen still finished it up. I think they ignited the Yasuo. I'm seeing their ignites on cooldown right now, so that could have definitely happened. But oh man, I did not think Gwen was gonna finish it up. Look, they were 4-0 at that point, so I mean, maybe like, dude, Gwen's OP too.
Yeah, Gwen right now, especially having completed that Masters, just has a lot of damage for herself, and honestly is really, really stressful when you get into that close range, especially in the middle of that snip, getting those 1,000 cuts damage, all percentage health true damage that, you know, we've all been so accustomed to as the later generation of champions have been designed. So right now, just able to kind of sit there in Yasuo's face, and not for nothing, definitely had the gold lead and had the advantage lead, but Yasuo right now sitting at 7k gold, and that's after Gwen got the triple kill. So honestly, Yasuo definitely was probably the stronger one in that exchange. Just managed to
dude, it's so hard, man. These like misses, they're so close. Brissy has just got to get a little more surgical with these hooks, man, and then we are going to be a walking threat. But until then, this is a learning game. You know what's crazy is we are down 9-17 and we are up 300 gold. How is this possible? What? High dragons. We have 1 tower. Is that 1 tower really worth all that? That's crazy.
It's more the turret plates and what York is at house at home. You gotta fight.
Oh man, that big knockup right there. Tower's gonna be doing some damage, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to clean it up right there. We had to throw in a little running tornado, but yeah, that looks like just a 1, you know, just yeah, quick little 1. Wait a minute, Garguma. Okay, they just went in.
Oh wait, I mean,
no, they did it. Okay, we were just apparently York backing was just crazier than that. But here we go. Gourmet Cookies dodged in right there. Brissy trying to get out, gets out, or do they? Nah, yeah, it's a shield. Gonna do it. Back in though, and we're back in this business, baby. We got Swain ultimate up. We got Yorick slapping it up. We got Gourmet Cookies. Was that an ulti by Gourmet Cookies? What was that? Was just a hash plant, I think, or slapping the blast plant, and then it just okay. I saw the vision, but yeah, that was just like an awkward blast plan, and you know, it just sealed the coffin for Gawr or for Cookies. Too
Yeah,
bad.
three more kills going down into Gawr's first straight class. They're slowly starting to get more and more even, and as you said, they had a small lead before, now even more, so 1.5k, and not for nothing, they're looking at this Baron. There is a Cassante up and available, and not for nothing, Gwen is also available and doesn't have a teleport, but if you don't want to risk anything, it might be a bad spot. Hold on, there's a Cassante.
Oh, goodness, dude, Cassante is... Look at how broken this dude is! There's no way we are one.
Look at that!
We're 2v4.
He's not done!
Literally Soraka and Cassante right now. By the way, by the actual way, this is Soraka and Cassante. We finally go down. Thank you. Thank goodness. Oh my lord. Oh man, that was... I was gonna say there's actually no way we are 2v5ing under Baron right now. But thank the Lord for we got Brissy and we got Yorick up top. Holding it down. Gourmet Cookie gonna try to steal it out there. Wow, what a play. Take it, totally canceling out the blast plant. But yeah, they knew they didn't have enough damage to kill the Nautilus.
Yeah, so, okay, so, yes, let's look at this as a whole. So, Cassante managed to at least get in the pit, and at the very least stop the Baron from going through, which is probably the reason why they still have a lot of pressure. Gwen, all the way in the bottom side, managed to inner turret for herself. It's a huge gold jump from that, and not for nothing, completes a Rabadon's death cap. This is not the Conqueror version, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the full AP Gwen, who gets off a full power Q plus 2 of her ultimate and immediately one-shots you. This is going to be the Gwen you want to worry about. Especially when you consider that ultimately there is not a tank that isn't Nautilus who's a support on the side of Gawr's first straight class. This is a Gwen who, if she gets a full powered Q with one of those ult stacks, you are likely immediately gone. So this is definitely a good pick for Wancake and really what he's going to want to do here on the map. Now, this is a Mountain Drake going for the side as well, which gets a little bit tankier, a little bit harder to take down. The gold is back to dead even after that play. Cassante getting that triple and causing the delay at the Baron might also be what keeps him in this game, as now Gwen, I will dare say, is stacked up.
Caught out here.
Like that, exactly, just like that.
Gwen is just a raid boss, man, and it's just hard to deal with. And Karthus is just a walking trophy, man. It's like so easy to get Karthus for someone like Gwen. Just get in there, snip, give him a vasectomy, and then get out, and then he's gonzo, can't have kids anymore. It's just, dude, it's painful, bruh. Look at that. We have a tower now, too.
I don't think that's what I ever would have thought of hearing about an interaction between Gwen and Karthus before. I'm not going to say it's not accurate. I'm just going to say it's not what I thought. I mean, what I'd say more often than not is that the reason why Karthus' voice is so high-pitched is because of Gwen's snip. That would have been more tactful, in my opinion. But I do definitely agree that right now Karthus is a very easy target for Gwen to jump onto. Gives her a lot of, basically a single target that's not that mobile that you can just kind of land that full power Q on and give him a reason to cry. Now, ultimately, the thing we have to look out for is still what they're going to do to keep handling this Yorick. Now, right now, obviously, Cassante is matching. This is going to be probably their best option because even if he doesn't necessarily have a crazy amount of armor, he does have the gauntlet, which is more than enough to stop the ghouls in their tracks and even stop Yorick himself in his tracks. He needs to get himself out of there. Meanwhile, Gwen can be a lot more of a side lane threat for kills and pressure, as Cassante is basically just here to stop Yorick from getting an additional lead more than Souvenir has.
Dude, this Gwen is going completely raid boss mode too. 213 farm. We are 6-0. We have 1,500 gold, or sorry, 11k. Oh man, yeah, it's a nightmare for the Gwen.
Here she goes. Hold on, here she goes.
Nightmare status. We got a 1v1, ladies and gentlemen, and
Look
it's actually
a
1v1. I thought it was because Gwen was kind of dropping low, but no, just gets taken out immediately. Good night, Swain.
I'll even do you one better. That only got so close because Gwen waited to use her Q until the last second because she didn't want to lose out on the damage. So ultimately, that was mostly just ult procs and autos. So definitely could have even been much more one-sided instead.
Oh no, we're seeing another awkward spot. I hope not. Nope, we are good to go.
If we're able to walk himself out of there. Right now, he's just trying to do what he can to defend this turret because obviously with no Yasuo, with no other teammates right now, he is not going to be able to really wave clear anything on his lonesome. You see that actually Yorick is trying to figure out what he wants to do, if he wants to keep trying to keep this pressure bottom lane or if it's going to amount to nothing, because Cassante at this point has kind of gotten to that big meat wall status. He is very much at the point of, okay, I'm just going to kind of sit here and stop you from progressing.
Oh, going in. Finds Brissy into a wall, but Brissy gets the flash off.
Yeah, flash off going on to Brissy. There's not really much else to say about it. Hold on, now Yorick's getting caught out.
Rooted in a weird spot right now. We have Cassante and Gwen, the two biggest characters on the red team, here to take you out and not on a date, and that is too bad.
Yep, immediately. That's
but Gourmet Cookie, can we run around the top? He's been dancing around the map this whole game. Can they dance around 5 members of the enemy team right now? No, we get caught by this pole, and we are also in the graveyard. Goodbye. Joining Poppy or joining Yorick. Yorick and Poppy gone. So now it's a 4v4 right now.
Yeah, that was honestly just really cool because I didn't even think
Uh-oh,
about going to
Cassante
Yasuo.
gets
Hold
caught
on.
into a Brissy hook. Are we going to be able to tank this? Yes, we are. We dash away, and we've taken barely any damage, actually. It's crazy.
Hold on,
As a
going
matter of
back
fact,
in.
we are going back in. We are taking out Brissy. Brissy's
All
going
out.
to be dropped pretty low, but no, he shields up.
He lands
and
nothing.
He's living until a Gwen comes through, and Exhaust is not going to be taking out that Gwen. Gwen is just going to... Yep. Nah, that's crazy, bruh.
That's just one thing. There, I want to say there, Cassante didn't do anything. So actually, maybe the champion is still balanced. Just saying.
It's a little overbalanced.
As no, I love that that's when nobody says anything. Either way, Cassante pops you all, doesn't quite make it through the Pathmaker, not really getting on the targets, and pretty much if you're not landing damage on that, most of that is just you being a much squishier target, someone like a Karthus waiting to land those late wastes, get themselves out, and now we are kind of back to a neutral wave state. Summit Advents have a little bit of a lead, 1.5k, but honestly, the gold leads this game have not been super drastic. It's not as if one team has taken more like a 4 or 5k. To this point, a lot of things going back and forth. I would say that Summit Admins definitely have the momentum advantage. They know that Gwen can kind of split and side lane against virtually whoever she wants. She has those completed 3 items in comparison to the Yorick, who also said 3 items. They're just a bit less expensive items, ultimately. And so now the question comes of what exactly do you want to do on the map? You have Cassante with his Jack Show. You have Yasuo going in towards Gwen. So Yasuo himself, by the way, we should talk about that. The Infinity Edge and the Yotai arrows completed. Actually, Enoch itemization with Porky, given the equal farm and CS, as well as kind of goal score. So actually, it's Yasuo pick kind of working out so far. It has kind of the all-in pressure the rest of this team wants to follow up with that last breath. So I'm curious to see how it kind of plays out when he gets to the ram and hopefully lands something onto this Gwen or onto this Corki, because so far definitely One Cake, absolutely the man to deal with as he's just slowly but surely building up this overwhelming lead.
Yeah, he is true. Look at that, the death cap. Yeah, man, it's 3 items. Okay, look, another 1v1, 17 versus 13. Oh, gee, I wonder how this is gonna go. And yep, that's exactly how I thought it was. We have 3 members though. Now this is an interesting fight. Yep, this. Okay, I don't know if Gwen can do this, but we have the team to back us up. Yes, we can.
Yep.
Yes, we can. We can
Yep.
live. We can continue. We have the Soraka and we have a Karthus. Oh. That's a double kill for the Karthus ultimate. Oh. All right, we're evening up now. Okay, so that's 2 for 2. But now we have, a 3 for 2, my bad. But now we have a Baron possibility on our hands. Brissy trying to dance around and find something. We have Baron playing for the blue team right now, trying to snipe out the red members. But Brissy getting turned on real quick, and Strand has all the damage in the world to quickly pick him up. And there is a pause going out.
I mean, being fully honest, that was exactly what Brissy should have wanted to do. I mean, listen, you're 0-8 on this Nautilus. You're not exactly in a position to be doing much else in these fights that isn't just kind of stalling out and kind of being there as a like miniature meat wall distraction. So honestly, him dying there for Corki and then getting them off the Baron is way bigger. I don't even know if they would have made it ultimately, because I think that Poppy's getting a little bit too low and only having the 1 damage there wasn't quite going to be enough. Maybe they're going to rely on kind of Cassante getting his teleport in another few minutes, take over. I doubt it, but I think either way, giving up his life to make sure the Baron just by no measure doesn't go down, I think is totally worth it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a good play on his part too. And we can see here in this pause off on the far right of the map, we have a Yorick pushing out. So Cassante was there to back it up quickly, but in the mines, I kind of like the idea to try to like push it out, try to stop the Baron, and try to get as much as we can for that moment. That was a solid play too, and Loki almost kind of got some kills. Brissy saw the vision, saw the kill vision. Didn't quite work out. Strand and was it Strand? Not Strand and Tubby. Strand and Gourmet. Yep, that's right. Strand and Gourmet executed that play to disengage from the Baron and pick up the kill. So that was a good play on their part. But yeah, we have solid decisions all around the map right now. We have definitely a good live game on our hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's still plenty. And look, I mean, I'll say it again. The fact that the gold at this point just keeps going back and forth between 1k and nothing. I mean, granted, it mostly is there right now because of the massive amount of gold that's went into Karthus' pocket off of killing the Gwen. That was a free 1,000 extra gold on top of the normal 400. And another, actually, I'm not sure if both kills were shutdowns, but at least the Gwen kill was. So ultimately, there's still a lot that can be done. I think that Karthus getting that gold is huge because he is really kind of that main magic damage dealer that you want. He is going to be who can handle Gwen or handle Corky if he either goes for the classic kind of, old school suicide card, just walking in, letting himself go down, or even just having a high damage ultimate, having those lay waste from range, things like securing objectives and just kind of landing that extra bit of AoE you need. So I think that Karthus getting the kill gold is actually really nice as well. I think you'd rather him get it over someone like maybe the Swain or the Yorick, that at this point, not that their fourth and fifth items don't matter, but they're not going to be quite as impactful as getting Karthus onto his second and a half, sorry, a second or third item where he really needs to match up with the rest of the team.
Yeah, he's a huge factor in making up that damage that it's I mean like it's pretty much Corky and Gwen, and like they're doing a good job at pulling through with this damage, but um like we're comparing it to like Karthus, Yasuo, Swain, Yorick with like a crazy, like you'd think on paper like that team just has way more damage to outplay, especially Karthus. He gets into the middle of the team, he's got his Eon, like even if he goes full on like he's ready to die, like it doesn't matter even in that aspect, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened. Like he went in totally knowing committal that he was gonna go out, and he popped his ultimate right after it happened and he got 2 kills. It was pretty solid, and we've seen multiple times red team after like an advantage that they get up, or like they'll get up a kill, they might pick off somebody, and it's usually like a couple of their members are like super low, like around like a quarter HP, like half HP. So it gives Karthus that like perfect potential to like just hop in there, flash in there. He's got his Eon already, and like get a good wall, get like a Q or two off, and like boom, you got like an ultimate that's gonna sweep up 3 members.
Yep, exactly. Especially with how close these fights seem to keep getting. I mean, the one thing that they do kind of have to worry about is the fact that, as we kind of mentioned, they don't exactly have the biggest, there's a lot of meaty walls, right? Poppy is still kind of building and still getting a bit tankier. Obviously, starting the Sundered Sky, I mean, she has a bit of HP, but not so many resistances. And Cassandra, we've already seen, is still such a large HP threat that really the only reason why that fight may have not gone more their way is because I think he both wasn't fully there, but also kind of missed his things on his all out. And really, that's kind of where the pick kind of has its meaning where you want to take it down. But also, this is the case of it's going to be hard to break through that wall. And maybe when Gwen's a bit more focused and not be hard focused on by the other 4 members, it's going to be a lot harder if she's healing up fully with that snip sip and with those 1,000 cuts. That maybe becomes a bit more difficult to handle. But I think for right now, with the state of the game, Karthus having those kills, getting those leads, and like you said, being able to really use that to pick up on these low end fights, especially things like Soraka and Corky, who are gonna stay pretty low HP and definitely not enjoy a giant Requiem blast to the face. Hopefully, will work out for them as time goes on.
Yeah, man. It's like we basically have like a separate game like inside this game where we have to handle Gwen. Like we have 5v Gwen, and then we have to deal with like the first game that we signed up for. So it's kind of like it's low key kind of a mountain. I am very impressed though with the Gawr's class to keep up with the gold. Like they were like totally. I didn't even notice it until that one time when they were 9 and 17, and I pointed out when they were actually up by like a couple hundred, and I was just like, dude, what? And I think you said something about like the turret plates, like, which is crazy that the turret
Absolutely.
plates make up for that much money.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly the fact that as much as Gwen was doing good into the Yorick matchup, when she started trying to roam around and build this with a bit of pressure, Yorick was still able to push more than fine. I mean, Yorick obviously with ghouls naturally pushing on itself, let alone when the maiden's out. And when they really couldn't give him a lot of focus because Pop was trying to put so much on the bottom side. Granted, getting those kills onto Percy and kind of counter jungling into the face of Karthus, it was really the fact that you were leaving Yorick kind of on his own devices, just slowly but surely. Then get one plate, get 2 plates, get some ghouls, get the maiden damage, and not for nothing. But you didn't really talk about much because it wasn't really so much on the map. But that this is a 6 grub Yorick as well, and a six grub Yasuo when he decides to start split pushing. So this is definitely a team that excels at taking towers, and this is really kind of the ideal scenario to have a Yorick in your game, which is 6 grubs fully stacked, able to side lane, and basically now he just knows if it's not Gwen that he can handle it. I mean, Cassandra's going to stop him, but it doesn't mean that eventually they're going to have a team fight. Everyone's going to gather, and he's going to be all on his lonesome taking a tower in probably less than 5 seconds if I had to give it a general amount of time.
All right, everybody, we're gonna take a small little break while this pause is going on. It shouldn't be too long, but pray for this information for whoever you gambled for your channel points. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thankfully, that was a short little pause. We are back into business. We got everything rolling. Take a quick recap here. We got had a little Brissy taking off everybody from the Baron and distracted everyone, and now we are back to normal. 17 to 29 on the kill score, 3 dragons to 1, and yet just a 2.5 gold K. Actually, no, and just about 1.5K now. So blue team doing a good job on keeping up with the gold, but red team has a somewhat of a tremendous lead in kills and potentially power.
Yeah, I mean, the real thing to look at is we have the gold up, is where that gold is in that differential, and honestly, for the most part, it's essentially split up between the solo lanes, and actually, oddly enough, a little bit on the Soraka, but the gold for Gawr's first rate class is all in that Karthus. It's all going onto those Requiems and those lay waste. That honestly is the damage that they need in these fights. That I think it does make sense that he has the gold, but the question is it going to be enough, especially after the giant influx he just got from that exchange. But here comes Poppy trying to look for a little bit more, and actually Kasante's here as well.
Oh man, Kisande chasing that 3 members. Oh man, might not be enough. Garguma trying to dash out of the business right there, but he does not.
Runs on Nautilus.
Chrissy kind of in another weird spot, flashes over a wall, but it's, yeah, One picks it up still, man. That's crazy. Was that the ultimate? Like, that was wild.
That was the last thing of ultimate. This is a 4-item Gwen, my guy.
Dude, that was a good hit by Gwen right there. Nice job.
And now she's gonna be able to get another one because you walked in her face.
Another one, dude. Just dashes that. Like, you cannot be stepping in weird spots like that. Like, the Gwen is just so dangerous. Like, we have double-digit kills right now.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, listen. You know, the gold lead maybe even. There are things that they can do, but Gwen is not about to lose power, and right now she's just walking around.
It's just impossible. We can't escape the Gwen. She's just dashing over every wall, and we do not have the characters. Like, we have Yasuo is the only one that can really dash away, like, magically. I mean, you know, so can Nautilus, but dude, oh, is this a weird spot? Oh no, okay, red team, yep, they get it. Nope, we thought Woojin was gonna sweep up a Baron and 2 kills right there, and here comes the Gwen here to finish it up. Okay. Yep. Surprise, surprise.
Okay. Let's just point out, okay, that is 4 autos and a Q. That is what Gwen is doing to kill these members. This is exactly what I was kind of saying in the pause. Like, yes, the cards, if you're able to focus her down, it's going to be very, very hard to kind of fully get there. But this is a Gwen that has enough power to do that with 4 autos and a singular fully stacked QS. Now
here we go. Into the ultimate. Ah, there it is, the Wombo. You'll love to see it. I low-key saw that one coming from a mile away.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to when you have a Yasuo walking up as Nautilus says, okay, now I'm going to press R, specifically now. Oh, now watch, ready?
No, but the Wombo combo has already been exhausted, and
look at that.
Goodbye. That was a tank, by the way.
So, yep, and that's what I'm saying. That's what this Gwen can now do at this stage of the game. This is why the game, I think, is going to be a lot harder to handle if you're not have everybody on her ready to go. This is a full damage Rabadon Shadow Flame Gnasher's Tooth. All she needs on anybody that isn't Nautilus, and maybe Yorick, is 4 autos. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing a lot of the game. And at this point, if they are ever trying to match Gwen to Silent without at least 2 members, they are just essentially giving up free kills.
Yeah, it's looking pretty depressing for the first grade class. I'm correcting myself there, but you know, I think there is a world they can come back. Soul Point is coming up pretty soon, and if there is a world where we somehow turn around and potentially pick up the soul ourselves, is this a goodbye Yasuo? He's shield. Yeah, it's not enough right now. Gwen might be 1v3.
She doesn't have her ult. She doesn't have her ult.
Oh man, here comes.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh wait, it's not. Oh wait, there's Karthus. Nope.
Bro, we pick up 2 members. Wait, how did Soraka get that?
Redemption.
Oh, okay. Redemption. Wow, that's a good item too. It was smart to use it on the Gwen. Try to get it 1v3, but
yeah, I'll say yeah, long range redemption. I mean, listen, all right, it picked up the kill, all right, so it has other purposes, but yeah, no, Gwen right now in the side lane, able to do this. And not for nothing, that was before Mountain Soul was taken. She would have had a shield to bump that up. That may have been enough for her to live if she had it.
They had to pick up Gwen right there with all their members, and yeah, it just gave away Soul. So it's like, it's kind of sad. Like, it's, at least for blue team, like we are so enthralled to be on red team right now. Like, the red team is totally thinking that this game might be easy, and it's looking like it. Blue team's gonna have to be climbing a huge mountain if they're gonna come back.
Yeah, really the only mountain they have to climb is on the back of this yard, who actually might be able to pick up the Poppy here. And he does land, but Poppy enough has a little bit enough to take it. Ooh, hold on a second. Nope. Oh!
Dude,
Have to pop the Cassante shield and the Sirocco with the defense on the line. That is a
half
big
map heal. This is crazy, bro. Okay, we got some business going down. We have a teleport coming in. Bunch of blue members are pretty low, but we are going up. Strand picks up a kill. Karthus picks up a kill on the way out.
Wayne's healing.
Inside of the Karthus, and
Wayne's healing.
Up by the Yasuo ultimate coming in tough right there.
Out.
But Cassante's going back in is not going to be able to do much, but they do pick up Brissy, and Woojin gets slapped up by a Wand Cake right in the background.
Nope, there's Gwen. Yep.
And now we have the Gwen sweep up. Yep, Gwen going janitor mode, and that is going to be an inhibitor, if not the game.
That was instant. Yep, Gwen came in, had the last single ultimate for the 5 stacks on the queue, and we just get to watch Swain's health bar immediately deplete to nothing. As Yasuo was doing pretty good. Gawr kind of turned that around a little bit, managed to pick up the Cassante, not quite go down to the all-out, but now Cassante is one thing. He's a big meaty wall who has a little bit of damage. This is like Gwen who is designed to run at your face. As Pop is going to knock him back in the car, I think it's just
that ultimate is so funny sometimes. Yeah, that's going to be the game right there. Well played right there by the Summit admins. I'm not doing a little bit flashy business at the end, but yeah, that Gwen just got too monstrous.
Yeah, and listen, exactly what I said, right? You know, this is Summit admins, so they put in the cheat codes and they won. They had to win, otherwise we all get fired. So like, it just made sense that they won.
It just makes sense. All right, well, we will be going to game number 2 here pretty soon. I'm gonna take a short little break ski and get into the picks and bans very quickly. Hello, welcome back, everybody, to the season Summit Premier League Season 5, a game number sorry, week number 5. This is game number 2 versus for the Summit Admins versus the Gars first graders. This is the picks and bans we got going ahead. Yep, Skarner, Janice, standard, just like last game. And I believe Hue, actually, I think this is actually the same exact ban so far as last game, minus the Soraka, which was played instead of the other two enchanters that we banned.
Yeah, this time Seraphine is being left up by choice for Gar's first straight class. See if it makes a difference. It looks like actually Summon Admins immediately going to go back to that quirky first pick. This isn't even on blue side. They think it was really that good. And I'm not going to say it wasn't good. I don't think it necessarily impressed me very heavily last game, but it seems like they're really valuing it right now for their bottom lane, as they're going to see exactly what Guard goes for in response, possibly maybe going for the same kind of top side focus as they did in the previous. Oh, sorry, actually, no, sorry, they did bot side focus before. They did the Yasuo Nautilus. So we'll see maybe they want to go for a different strategy this time around.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it, I'm kind of surprised we didn't ban the Corki or instead of the Soraka. Although I guess it kind of makes sense because I'm pretty sure we got like a whole bunch of heal cut and it just did nothing. The Soraka was just out healing everything.
Yeah, I mean, Sirach was out healing everything, and obviously, Gwen has a lot of healing in her kit. So I think it might have just been more that in general the team had a lot of healing, but obviously for right now, they do value kind of just maybe keeping people's health bars where it's supposed to be. But that being said, they actually picked the Seraphine for themselves this time around instead of banning it. Possibly why they went for the Caitlyn something more at the Yasuo as in the prior game. So definitely a very different bottom lane so far. Obviously, Seraphine technically is a flex, could be shown in that mid lane, but at least lately, truly has been a support pick going for that long range charm with her ultimate. So curious to see how the admins kind of go into response. Obviously, none of their other picks from last game were taken out. So if they want to put that same level of focus into the jungle or into the bottom side, they're more than welcome to. As they actually lock in the Ambessa, hold the phone. We're finally going to get to see the Noxian Dasher at her work. I'm very curious to see how this goes out.
Yeah, that's interesting that we're just like pulling it out the gates already. Like, I wonder how much testing we've already done, or if we're just completely sending it on something totally crazy. But I love to see it, and either way, I'm liking the strategy pick with the Seraphine too. We've been banning a whole bunch of enchanters this series, and instead of picking the Nautilus, which last round didn't really work super well for us, we take away the Seraphine from the other team instead of banning it, and we save our ban for someone else. We don't have to ban a support anymore for the second time around. Tark is going to be picked up, which I don't think we're going to see any jungle Tarek gimmicks. I'm pretty confident that it's a normal support Tarek, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, Tarek in particular as a support definitely serves a couple of different purposes, I think. And obviously having that large kind of AoE invulnerability, you have your means of using the dazzle stun. So he definitely has some kind of ways and that he can really be beneficial in these fights and tools. And especially when you have someone like an Ambessa who can really use kind of just a long range. Sorry, not a long, like a very quick gap closer. Having someone like her linked up and then giving her both the shield and the armor and the dazzle stun really can kind of be a good way to lock down someone in the backline without expecting it. The Volibear pickup for Gar's first weight class I think is very interesting. I don't know if that is going to go more towards the top side or towards the jungle, but I think that it really is kind of there towards really saying, okay, we want to be aggressive. We know when we want to jump in, and equally so, just having that kind of early game kind of dissuading tool of having that thunderstorm, having the crash down, and also just kind of being a very easy point and click stun for the lockdown. So I'm curious to see exactly where the bear goes. Meanwhile, the bands still all the same for the Summit admins, the Silas and the Vladimir. Maybe more so being banned out of just dislike for going against them rather than maybe something towards their comp, considering it is all exactly the same bands. But
Yeah, the
the
Vladimir one's
Galio,
a little interesting to me. I know, like, he's kind of a like I don't know how I feel about Vladimir because like Vladimir can like definitely go off sometimes, but I'm not so sold on the Vladimir ban versus the
mm,
Silas ban. The Silas ultimate ban like his like yeah he deserves a ban for like all right, but like I don't know. There's something about me feels like there's a little bit more outplayability when it comes to Vladimir. But then again, that kind of opens the question of if not Vladimir, then who kind of thing. And yeah,
mhm.
maybe you're right. Maybe it is just like a personal like dislike for the character, just for some reason cannot figure out how to play against him.
Well,
Or
we'll have
maybe
to see
there's someone on the enemy team, someone in the Gars class that's just like a low key of Vladimir aficionado that we just don't know about.
Yep, could always be getting out a pocket pick or something someone's very familiar with. Plenty of value in things like that. But we can't talk about the fact that that is a Lux pick, and that is going to be not a Lux. Hold on, that is not a Lux mid because I was going to say that they already have the Taric. So is this potentially a Taric jungle? I think it is. I think
Dude, did
it's
I
either.
call it? That's crazy,
Well,
bro.
well, I mean, it could be an Mbessa jungle. And Mbessa does go jungle from
That's
time to
true,
time
that's
while the
true,
champs
but
need to take it out.
yeah,
So,
that's
but
he
well, wait, it's not that it's a Taric top. Wait, hold on.
hold
There's
on.
something.
And
There's something crazy.
We got a Vigar pick t okay,
Hold
well,
on.
no, hold on, we're not
Nope.
locked okay, yes, Swain, okay.
Okay, yeah, no. So,
Okay,
the
hold on.
Swain, pick did work out really well for them. I do think that Swain is the correct call here. We did obviously confirm that that Volibear is in the top side. So this is either a Volibear top into a Taric or into an Mbessa, and I'm not sure which. I'm low key floored as to exactly what the top side of this game is going to look like. I think that so you know what? So since I don't know that, I want to talk about the bottom side. Corky Lux should function very similar to the prior game. Obviously, Lux is a bit more catch potential with the loosened binding and with the spinning shield. So there's a lot of ways in which Lux does kind of perform similar but different. I think against a Seraphine Caitlyn though, which is equally a very long range bottom lane, I don't think they're going to have quite as easy of a time on the Summit Admin. I think they're going to be able to play safer. They're not going to be as vulnerable to jungle gank as they were maybe with the Poppy, with the Nautilus, and the Yasuo. Now, on the other side, though, having the Seraphine Caitlyn having that range can be very beneficial. You know that if Graves is going to come in, you know they're going to have to force up and be a little bit closer range on the Corki. So I could see Graves focusing bottom side. As far as the mid lane, assuming it's Swain versus Ari, I think that's kind of a match that's going to come up more towards that level 6 when Swain has his never move and really lands into a Demon Flare. Ari going to look for some long range charms with some Orbs of Deception and using that Foxfire. And then top side and jungle, I'm not sure who to talk about. You know what? Here, make your call right now. Do you think it's Mbessa top or Terror top? You make your call.
Ah, I would more lean towards Invested Top. I don't know too much about Invested Top, but I just feel like this Tark is just such a like a wild card pick right now, and the Lux really set it off. Honestly, the Lux and Ari lock-in duo like really like who knows where this Tark is going, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's I have so many questions with the matchup. I'm loving the game we got in our hands right now because it's like kind of like low key some wacko picks.
Yes, Summit admins this game, they seemed confident enough in getting that they're one safe of Corky, and then said, you know what, we're gonna throw the rest to the winds, and they clearly seem to be wanting to go for. I don't know if it's style points. I don't know if it's the wow factor, if it's trying to catch them off guard. There's more than a couple of things. It is going to be Taric Jungle. We did just get confirmed. So Taric Jungle, I'm not going to lie. Not only as someone who has played maybe 3 games of jungle in his entire time playing League of Legends, and as someone who's played Taric only a few times support, I'm not sure how that goes. I know that there are some shenanigans with the Starlight Touch and your heal spamming with things like that in the Dazzle. That there are some people who really use that pick effectively, but you need a lot of mana to get that done. So I'm not quite sure if maybe that's the goal, if it's just to be a big tanky front line and go for like some long range with some dazzles. You do have some ability to do that with things like Ari's Spirit Rush on a dazzle or Corky Valkyrie with the Spirit Rush. So there are ways in which I could see it working for a lane gank potential, but this is just such an interesting pick to see coming through.
I know, yeah, yeah, it throws me off. I kind of honestly like. I feel like so. Okay, so we saw Vigar hovered. I would have preferred it. It's probably better that they picked Swain though. Swain's been, they didn't win with the pick Swain, but I feel like it's still kind of working out. Like it's been so strong in the team fights, and it's just like such a fat threat when he ulties. Like, and even though I've seen him drop a couple times, and he just like goes back and pops the ulti, and he just goes back in, and it just like it works. It works out so well.
Yeah, no, I think Swain right now, given his current status and the way that like games seem to be going, and the way that just kind of the meta is right now in this patch, I think Swain is an absolutely strong pick, and it works perfectly. Like it does exactly what you need it to do. It stays in your face. It has the health drain. You're able to kind of spam to spam those crow storms really, really well. So I think that pick goes well, especially with like the Volibear and the Graves that are kind of equally trying to like run in at a target, and the Seraphine trying to bring them closer to you. I am curious how it's going to play into something like an Ari who has so much mobility when she gets that ultimate and has that Spirit Rush, and especially like the Lux can really lock you down and keep you in place, and it's really hard to kind of drain someone when you can't walk towards them. So I think there are ways in which it can be limited, but I think as a whole, it is still a very strong pick for what this comp wants to do. But yeah, I think at this point, I just want to see how this game goes. I want to see how this Terra clear ends up going across the map, and more so, I want to see what M Bess is going to look like when we give her into the hands of someone in the top lane at Summit.
All right, so we are going to be jumping into this game very shortly. Everybody's already picked and banned everything, so as soon as it already loads up, we are just going to jump right into it. But we will see y'all very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the SPL Week 5. We got the GFC versus SA. Who's going to be taking it out right now? Rent. So we are just off the bat. No more 5-stack from last game. Let's see if anyone can get caught out though. I like the parallel stack right now. Everybody's just kind of like holding it down. But we do have some sneaky stuff going out top side. Doesn't even matter though. Volibear's just gonna, throw out the little thunder circle and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that little circle on him is really kind of the big deal, and what he's going to be able to do right now. Ooh, not letting the never move means that we don't quite get quite as good of a trade early. Would have probably at least forced the flash out of Frost would be gone there. But either way, some nice little trade back and forth, a little bit of just something just to call out and say, hey, I'm here. You better be careful.
Yeah, if Odysseus hit that, I was about to crash out. But no, we're good. We're just chilling.
Yep, yeah, we're chilling for a little bit. So now that we at least know that it's Terry Jungle, I am very curious to see how this plays out. He's going to be starting with the red buff, which I guess makes sense. Obviously, you have the kind of auto attack speed gain every time you cast a spell on the Terran, so it makes sense to go for the red buff. Just use that to kind of proc some damage off. I am curious to see exactly how much he ganks, and if so, what exactly the goal is. I'd imagine, like I said, the goal is probably to move forward and maybe lock on the. I forget exactly what the name of the ability is, but with the W, it kind of gives you the means of giving someone your Dazzle or your Starlight Touch. It must be that into a Dazzle and then using that to try to hopefully like predict movement. So I'm curious exactly how they work it out. But as far as the lanes themselves, obviously we have the Ambessa, we see the D-Blade into D-Ring, which makes sense, going for a lot of trade potential. The Grasp Ambessa in particular actually does surprise me. I would have thought that you want more to Conqueror for how fast you can scale it off of landing multiple spells, but looks like instead One Cake wants to just go for the Grasp play, keep himself sustained, and be able to last a bit longer in these trades against someone like Volibear. So Gawr hopefully looking with that. Actually, there's a flash in the bottom lane.
Dude, yeah, Bristy got scared of that level 2 right there. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's tough when you're someone like Seraphine with low mobility, no like escape plan, and then the massive level 2 spike hits right there. But yeah, we are safe. So I mean, better safe than sorry.
Better safe than sorry. Don't want to risk anything, and more than anything, you really don't want to give your opponents a way out if you're going to give them something. A lot of damage going down from the Ambassa. That's exactly what you want to be careful of. That lacerate damage, especially with the second proc. So we're gonna have to see exactly how Wandcake goes here. By the way, other thing to note, Ignite TP. So it maybe not the Gwen, but another champion that he's trying to avoid foregoing the flash on. And granted, with Ambessa, it makes sense how much ability that champ does have.
Oh, dude, these mid lane trades, man. It's like both players are like doing their thing, hitting their abilities, but like Swain just coming out on top just a little bit more right here. Oh, look,
a little bit more.
Going in tough right now. Lux lands a nice Q. He's gonna get out just in time. Goomba is just not happy with these trades, man. Like Wand Cake is just taking all of Gargoomba's Pokemon cards, and he's just like forced to back out of this. Crazy that we were running Ignite TP, or Ignite TP, and on like this brand new character. Like we must know something just off the bat that the other team doesn't.
No, I mean, listen, man, as somebody who hasn't necessarily played her, but has played against her more than once, the Ignite TP makes total sense. She has so much mobility in her kit built in that, like, even that was 3 or 4 different dashes in a single trade. Now, granted, right now, definitely has to back away. Obviously, you have cooldowns between those dashes, but ultimately, this champion has a lot of built-in mobility. It makes total sense if you feel confident in your movement that you don't necessarily need the flash as kind of the extra safety measure. In combination, though,
for something tough. Oh, Frost might be caught out in a weird position here. Yes, they stepped up just a little too much mid, but Jason does not pick it up. That was a good cue, but it just wasn't enough right there.
Yeah, the slow on the smoke screen not going to be enough with Ahri, especially without having the never move readily available. Swain should be able to just kind of force this through. Actually going to stop Ahri's back, which in my opinion actually matters a lot. It means she can't immediately teleport here, and it means he can actually try to wait for a bit more minion aggro to go down. Ahri does have a little bit more mana for maybe another Orb of Deception with a Foxfire, so I don't think she'll necessarily lose any farm, but suddenly nowhere near as safe in this mid lane, given the situation, as we see that Wand Cake took his own back, so not a lot of items to match. Just kind of got the refill of potion to go alongside the longsword, so just a little bit to match in with the tier. So maybe more combat stats, but ultimately not a crazy amount.
Oh man, I wanted to see the rest of that dash combo. Like we just got cut super short just for like literally no reason. I swear the camera just like does whatever it wants to at the craziest times. Oh, Jason coming in tough with a flash dash combo right after trying to finish Frost here. We are shooting the shotgun shells and it's doing work. Odysseus dropping super low. Can Lord Tubby Tongue cut it out? No. Oh, the 1 minute! Oh,
nope,
no!
not enough.
It was not enough. Good job on Odysseus to tough it out right there, though. Swain tankiness is enough to live him up.
Yeah, the thing is that Frost thought that okay, Lux is here, she can help me shove. Maybe I can kind of keep this going. She waited just a little bit too long in that exchange and just wasn't able to keep it moving. And ultimately, that was kind of the problem. That's what I was saying, that you wanted Ari to back, you wanted to kind of keep her there. And as soon as Swain stopped that first back, we knew it was going to be a problem. And with that, lo and behold, that is an Ari down, and that is a Swain getting a little bit of extra gold to make up for the CS differential.
Speaking of CS differentials, man, it's like good job on Gargoomba for like keeping up on the farm, even though we are just being totally harassed under our own tower right now.
Yeah, being harassed under the tower, and honestly, keeping up in CS as well in combination. So definitely a lot of good going up on and about on this top side. And not for nothing, Volibear is not a champion that, necessarily has the most oppressive early. He is definitely strong enough early. He's not necessarily a weak, level 3, level 4 champion, but
Ooh,
he
Odysseus has been really good at catching these
Ooh, hold on,
swing hooks
Demon
over
Slayer.
the wall. Pops the ulti though. Maybe a little too ambitious, but I don't know. Could have seen something, could have prevented something with it. But world kept spinning. We are here, and we do not have a Swain ulti for the next minute.
Yeah, ultimately, it's a trade. You're essentially trading your ultimate for Ari's, and not for nothing. If I remember correctly, Swain ultimate is definitely a little bit of a lower cooldown. So if you are trading one for one, maybe you play with the proper timing to kind of get something in their spot. Especially knowing that he didn't have any spells and sorry, summoner spells, and Ari might have just been wanting to make an equal trade with it all and just kind of use that to his advantage. We do see the gold tab right now. We can see where kind of the small lead is being built up right now for the first grade class, mostly in that jungle and bot side with the CS differential and bot side, and definitely the farm differential in the jungles. I definitely didn't think Tarek was going to be a very fast clear, so it doesn't surprise me very much. We actually see Tarek actually taking enemy red buff right now as Graves doing a little countering on his own, so this could be a potential if Graves doesn't think to go onto the red buff unless he kind of already inherently knows or is aimed towards it. Corky and Lux potentially walking up to stop it, but nope, he's just going to go and take the red. So it'll be an equal trade across the board. As Tarek's just going on, these junglers are just fully on the wrong side of each other's maps, just hoping the other doesn't get caught out. It seems.
Yeah, a little bit more strategic play here than last game. Was a little bit of a kill fest. We had kills going all across the board.
Hold on.
Gargoomba has been dangerously low this entire game. They feel at super low HP, but a one kick dashing around.
Oh, there's Tarek showing up.
Ooh, Gourmet,
he's trying.
Can we do some magic Tarek action right here? Gargoomba wants the smoke, wants the Tarek B Volibear smoke. Super low though. All right, here it is.
He's trying to wait. Yep, there's the big heal off of the.
Oh man, there's. Yep,
oh man, nope. This is
not
where you want Tarek to be.
Around, but no, there's a flash. Out.
Yeah, no, yeah. So surprisingly enough, Tarek doesn't exactly have a crazy amount of base damage, so he's not exactly try to dive someone like a Volibear, especially without that massive amount of frenzy healing off of W. So Gawr actually kind of forcing out that flash, and not for nothing, but kind of just wasting Tarek's time, I would dare say, especially seeing how much he's already having trouble farming and kind of keeping up in the presence of the Graves. Now, speaking of which, Graves showing up now on top side, and Bessa more than healthy enough to walk back, but this is definitely starting to show the differential in the jungle, so I'm hoping this Tarek was not designed for its early pressure. I'd imagine it never was, but that's definitely a case, especially when, not for nothing, we didn't even talk about this, phase rush Tarek. I don't necessarily know what that was going to be intended for, what the phase rush really does for you, besides just walking into someone's face and maybe trying to go for like some trades with that Starlight Touch, extra attack speed, but not entirely sure exactly what Tarek's going to aim to do here. I am curious to find out.
Oh, man. Oh, there it is. Frost was getting really bullied by the Swain early on, but, so, I'm kind of confused there, too, because, it looked like Swain was backing earlier. I think they stayed just for that minion wave, but that stay cost them their life. They should have just backed from the get-go, like they wanted to originally.
Yep, absolutely. And the funnier thing is that's exactly what happened to Ari earlier. Ari was going to back, you got stopped by Swain, and then decided to stay for the extra minion wave. Although in her case, you could technically blame the Lux, because obviously it's always support's fault when you're a mid laner. So you could technically say that it was because Lux showed up and then immediately, kind of caused her to stay. But that time, I think Swain just got a little bit of the idea of, okay, my ultimate's coming up. If she does jump on me, I can survive it. Didn't quite remember that Ari at this point did have him matched in items, and more importantly, had that extra damage ready to go through the Foxfire and with the Spirit Rush, and just kind of took a poor trade. That is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Although I'm kind of with you with the mid laner or having this be the support's fault. I think that was honestly Brissy's fault. Some in some universe that was probably
True.
so.
True
L
facts.
on Brissy, L on the jungler too. Like, why are we even playing jungler? Jungle. The fact that we got jungles. Oh my goodness, though. Tubby, dude. Okay, support Lux getting dangerous. Not a kill, but
Yeah. Oh,
big
1 second.
damage.
Here comes Tarek. Oh wait, there's gonna be the ultimate from Mbessa.
Our Goomba. Okay, yep. There's
Oh,
the shield.
touch.
There's the heal getting low, and we live. We live those. We got a massive grub strike on our kid too. Frost jumping in a
Demon
weird
Flare
spot.
popped.
We're gonna use the ult or
Charm.
the pop though instead of the ulti. But now we
Brissy
pop
low.
the ulti and we might pick up a couple kills with it. Brissy and Odysseus pretty low. Frost's pretty low as well. Getting hit. Okay. Oh, Caitlyn. Just an open shot right down mid lane and nobody to block it. Nobody even attempt a flash block.
Yep, that's the beauty of the ace in the hole is having that
Yeah,
ability.
might be
Hold on, we
another
got more.
one, too. Another sniper diaper right here.
Tarek.
Where's the key to finish it off? No, we're flashing in for the autos. Closer to Tubby too. Honestly, I like it. Change our position to
wow.
get a little bit closer to the back line and pick up an easy double. Meanwhile, Strand just farming bot lane. I don't know, man. Like, we gotta be catching up here. Caitlyn got 3 kills in the bag right now. It's looking kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Gawr's first great class slowly but surely starting to build up this lead back up for themselves. They are going to end up evening the grub score, which I think is definitely very valuable to have for themselves. And Bessa trying to walk over, see if maybe she could do something, but I don't think that's ever going to be a place to do so. The one thing that is in their pockets at the very least, Corki has been on this bottom side with plenty of free reign and plenty of time. Still with 2 minutes to get this last plate, that is going to be 500 gold at minimum in his pocket from these plates alone. And not for nothing, he's still here, still able to show up, and even if it's only 3 grub damage is still grub damage, and that's still a lot of pressure on this turret, as he might be able to take the whole thing, but he's going to back and get himself an item. He might actually almost have to complete a Trinity Force at this point with how much farm he's been able to build up for himself. I'm not entirely sure. But let's see. Nope, just components. Maybe he doesn't have quite enough. I was thinking about Caitlyn's gold. Caitlyn's definitely got a lot. It's actually going to buy the completed steel cap. I don't know if I agree with that. But either way, Caitlyn is what we got to talk about now. Now that she's gotten those other 2 kills and is going 3-0. Even with Corky's farm, despite being in the mid lane for as long as she was, and the Seraphine equally kind of just providing the support and a bit of extra annoyance with the healing and shielding, this is exactly what we wanted to do. Swain popping the game with it.
Ooh, dude, Tubby just barely escaping the dangerous Swain, man. Like, we were just on top of Swain, like, when he's mid-ulti, too, and we do not have our flash. Like, scary stuff, but we managed to just barely walk away from that one, so good job for Tubby. Ooh, Strand might be catching Odysseus here in a weird spot. Swain gets the Nevermore strike right there, but Lux tries to go for the snipe. No, does not get it. But now we got Corki in a sniper position. Ooh, doesn't have the missile on cooldown to finish it off, and Odysseus is gonna get away. And same with Tubby and Strand. They were also pretty low too, so no kill's gonna go down right there just for now. But who knows? Soon we will see some Slaughterfest.
Yeah, Corky didn't quite have the ammo to go for that final touch.
Here it is.
But either way, gonna have to
Or
make
maybe
sure
he wants
the
revenge.
Bessa.
Didn't get the gank
On the
earlier,
volley.
but now we have a Taric ulti online. We have an Mbessa online, and we have a perfect tower dive. Totally well executed. Good job. Throw away the Caitlyn ulti. Why not?
Yeah, I can't say I know what that ace in the hole was supposed to do besides just say, hey, don't go there. And even then, he still got the plate and did exactly what he wanted to do. But Tarek getting the first assist of the game, going for that top side. And honestly, that's about the most I expected this pick to be doing, is kind of using that dazzle and just getting that little bit of an extra ultimate down just to kind of stall out for time. We see by the itemization, he's going for a Rod of Age. This is going to be a, like, off-tank AP Tarek. I'm not entirely sure what this pick is supposed to do. I'm curious to see if it fully works out for them, as Corky's got to run away from Swan.
Yep. We don't have the W, so we're just kind of floating in our little ship right now, our little thing. Swain had his ghost. Okay, I didn't even notice that till now, so we got the double movement summoner, so that's cool. Kind of dangerous on Swain, yeah. You don't want to see a Swain ghosting at you, but in this case, Corki manages to get away. We catch the tower just in time, so yay, no Swain.
Yeah, it was more a matter of the movement on, on the side of this Corki. Strand doing an excellent job of dodging the never move, and even there, kind of positioning himself just perfectly to not get hit by it. That's mainly the reason why he was able to live there, and it is a Pern summoner from the Swain, so it is at least something kind of taken in exchange. Meanwhile, on the top side, the Herald was actually taken, and Bessa going to go ahead and grab it, and likely use it to get this turret as Volibear's going to try to clear the minions.
Dude, round 2, man. Gargan just can't get enough of
Tarek.
it, man.
He's looking for it.
We were just pitching tents up here, man. Make cookies just like loves
slow.
bears, apparently, bro.
No ultimate from Bessa yet.
We're actually kind of doing it live though, low key. Like,
hold on.
Okay, hold on. Catching the heal, making Gawr make cookies after flash, and we're living.
Hold on, wait,
Sending messages. We lose the tower, but hey, Tubby.
Oh no, way, Bessa got caught out.
Fujin on a rampage. Gawr going back in. Oh, but we get the ultimate, and we're living, making plays and living. Odysseus doesn't find the Nevermore right there. Unlucky. Might be able to still catch a kill. Nah, we don't want it. Apparently, we do not want it. Or do we?
Yeah.
No, we want it. We want it. Come on, baby. Go back in. Go back
through.
Come on.
Got to slow.
Oh, we cannot do it. We cannot do it. Yeah, we're flat.
No. You tell me for the cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what this character does, but they are just slapping up and making plays. That was a clip. A wand kick definitely earned a clip right there. I don't even know really what happened, but we hit abilities. We got some shield, and I think healed a little bit too. Or was that just maybe the Targ? I think Targ.
Well, it's actually both. So once Bessa has a rank in her ultimate, she both has Omnivamp on her spells, and she also has built-in percentage armor penetration. So truly just having the rank to axe that ultimate means that she heals out every spell damage, and equally so has a lot of armor pen, which in the face of someone like a Volibear, who, you know, right now only really has the Kindle Gem and that Chain Vest, it really doesn't necessarily do a crazy amount, but does more than enough to get the extra damage that she needed. The Terra Carry definitely did help there, I would say, but ultimately that was just Wand Cake getting a bit of extra healing, knowing exactly how he had to place himself, and truly.
Oh man, dude, the Wand Cake and the Wand Cake turret combo is just going super nasty right now. We are just like a steamroller, just running around the map, just completely taking over and crushing anyone that runs into the path. Unfortunately, Swain got crushed by the steamroller. Here's one half of it.
Let's see.
We might be running into a reverse steamroll right here. No, okay, yeah, okay. We got the combo online. Steamroll online. Where are we going? Look, they even got the connection. I don't even know what this connection is, but we got it.
That's the Tarek W. That's what I was able to copy the spell.
Okay.
As right now he's looking for the Dazzle potentially, but nope, not quite going to do that. Corky finds Seraphine on her one, so there's
the ultimate, and Brissy drops immediately.
Hold on, we're not done.
Man, that is the squishiness of the Seraphine.
Yeah, Tower Gold popped there, not quite for much, as it looked like maybe they were thinking about going in for the tower dive, but decided better of it when they saw the Volibear TP in. So now it's just going to be a burnt Tarek Gold. But yeah, I mean, listen, ultimately, maybe Tarek Jungle is not necessarily the play, but Tarek plus Ambessa itself might just be the better play.
Yeah, that worked. That little double catch-up they just had now has turned around the gold lead. It went from red gold lead, and it's not by much, but mind you, we just came back from a gold loss, so like now we're in the driver's seat, baby. We're going full force, and we tied it up 5-5. We're going in.
Yep, 5-5 on the kills. Gold lead is just about even. The question does kind of become at this point, where exactly is the gold being spread out? And it's a very clear differential. For some of the admins, it is definitely on the top side of the map. You have this Ambessa.
Oh, man, the steamroller about to take over the bear, not the bear, man. We are environmentalists, baby. We got to keep the animals alive. Come on, oh, the bear stays alive.
Down.
In the tower, it's super low, though. We have a Seraphine to back us up just a little bit, but it's the
charm.
There's the ultimate.
Heal.
2 people, double charm. There's the exhaust. The bear lives to fight another day, but we have an Ari to dash in. Misses the Q. Bear gets the shield, and it's going to be just
on the back end.
Lives, but Tubbyton might not live this one. Tubbyton's dropping super low. Jason picks up the kill right there. He's going to try to dash away, but the steamroller coming back in tough. All right, more members are going to be gathering around now. Corky might be in a weird spot. Back
comes Ambessa.
Brissy comes back in and is going to be taken out by the steamroller. Oh, no, man, it's too much. And now a little skirmish into the jungle here. What we got? The bear going back in. Takes out the Tarek. And Bessa back into the back line. Trying to take out the bear.
Didn't kill anybody.
Wujin sniping him up. Oh, man. Oh, takes him out with a huge crit right there. That's a big shutdown that we need just for Caitlyn. Caitlyn now 6-0. We are online for this AD carry.
Yes, 6-0. We see the gold in the screen right now. 2.5K on the Caitlyn alone. This is exactly what you want to be seeing from this pick right now. And not for nothing, I was saying the lead was on the top side of the Ambessa. And even now, after that fight, 2.5K gold almost herself.
What's Tubby doing? Oh,
Oh,
man, I thought Tubby got
almost
that
had
for
it.
a second.
That was gonna be crazy. But yeah, no, obviously right now the bigger deal is the Tarek. The Tarek is great with the Ambessa, keeps her alive for very long. You can see exactly the effect. Like you said, it's working really well in these kind of 2v2 skirmishes. In a team fight like that, as soon as Tarek becomes the focus and you're able to get him far enough away from Ambessa, who granted kind of forces herself far enough away with her ultimate usage, it really becomes a much harder game by that point when she doesn't have the constant heals, the constant shielding, and the added stun. This is definitely a pick where these two need to stay in about as close proximity as possible, and I'm not quite sure what they're gonna be able to do that if the fights keep getting that chaotic.
Dude, the first grade class came up tough on that fight. They got 4 kills, and the admins only got 1 kill. As I said, we just reversed the gold lead back in, so we now, so now the first grade class back in the driver's seat. And it might just be a small little gold advantage. We're just fighting for this gold advantage right now. It's just give me this, give me that, you know. We're really trying to figure out who's winning right now. It's kind of even for the most part.
Right now, ultimately we have to see exactly what he's gonna do. Right now,
Dude.
Swain actually trying to take on Ambessa. Ambessa not landing the ult.
After the
Huge. That's a
steamroller,
lot of damage down.
we need the turret combo to finish this off, or do we? Or do we?
Hold on.
Odysseus fighting for. Ooh, doesn't catch the Nevermore. We needed it to make that play right there, but it was a good attempt nonetheless. A wand cake did discover that you need that Tarek combo to be the steamroller. It's not quite the same when you don't have the Tarek.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, ultimately, if Wanki had landed that ultimate, I think that that Swain definitely was dead there. Having that lack of extra damage and just that gap close potential really does kind of put a damper on the damage as well. So definitely, I think that's part of it. But also, yeah, I think the Tarek kind of given the healing, given the bit of shielding is really what you want to see. And I think ultimately is what this pick is kind of on this map to do. I think that he's not really on this map to do anything else, but really kind of be an accelerant for the Ambassador. And eventually for the Corki, but it's just right now, Corki is definitely not the name of the game. Down a full item and maybe a little bit more over Caitlyn right now, just because he's not really been given a lot of that pressure. And I think that at the same time, Tubbyton kind of taking a lot of roaming on this Lux, and it's not that he's not necessarily doing his job, but I think ultimately leaving Corki on his lonesome in such a long range bottom lane like the Seraphine and the Caitlyn has started to kind of finally bear fruit and really cause the problem. Is now Corki definitely not the same degree of carry he was in game 1.
Dude, look at that. Just getting Caitlyn ulti at full health, too. It's just like, nah, I could do this. Like, and we're in a winning position to do so, too. So, yeah, kind of annoying, and it's rough for Strand. Yeah, they try to catch up. Like, we're behind in farm, too. Not by much, but it's like, it's just like so much more painful when you're behind 6 kills, and like, we got a 500 gold bounty on Caitlyn. So, hey, maybe we can fish that up if we're Corky, but it's gonna be tough to get that. You're gonna have to do a nice little missile, thread the needle if we're gonna do it or something. I don't know. It's gonna be a miracle if something like that happens. Ooh, the bear getting caught out. Oh, nope. Hop over a wall and we are all good. The bear's been.
Ooh, there's Ambessa.
But Best trying to make something happen right here. Brissy gonna be in a weird spot. Oh no, Brissy getting taken out by Lord Tubbyton.
There's the bear.
Lux
lives.
And into the low too. Ooh, and the bear finally drops down low. Swain coming in for all the action.
Ambessa on a Caitlyn.
Taken out by Ambessa in the back lane. Tubbyton still shooting out magic from the sides, and Odysseus is trying to go hard right now. Might be able to pick up Gourmet. Oh! And Ambessa gets the triple. Dude, this Ambessa's going absolute nutso mode right now.
I am more surprised that Tarek lived through all that. Okay, I am surprised that Tarek, through all that, had the proper healing on Starlight Touch to not go down there. Definitely well done by Mr. Cookies so far. And now we see that a Baron is up and available. And Tarek basically went to the Crubs just to have enough mana to heal off it with Starlight Touch. And now they're going to be able to just go for the Baron.
Yeah, it's just a shame that we didn't have any picks from the Gawr's class that were released in 2024. It's just, yeah, it's just a shame. Production informing me that the release date is definitely quite the reason why we are losing here.
Listen, okay, all right, it's partially a release date. It's also partially that this champion just has a lot of mobility, has a lot of ways to get around in these fights, and ultimately, you're basically playing this comp, and this whole jungle pick is just here to make Ambessa be kind of streamlined forward. It's almost in a weird way working very much like a tank version of Ivor, which I kind of like, actually, in hindsight. Like, I think this is actually really cool that this is working out. I thought it was maybe going to be a wash, especially after that kind of lack of early pressure and how much Graves was having a farm lead, but by this point, the pick's starting to really come online. And yeah, you're sacrificing pressure in the bottom lane, but ultimately, Ambessa's more than building that up for you in spades. As now it looks like Graves is trying to maybe counter jungle a bit, but Corki definitely, like I said, not the same champion in game as in game one, and definitely still falling pretty behind as Kate switches between third item.
Oh, dude,
There's Ambessa!
Dude, Mbessa is just so annoying, man. Like, look at this. This is just so crazy.
Oh, is she still up?
Odysseus cannot keep up with these ultis right now. He's just trying to do
Hold
all
on.
the
No.
trying to drop him super low. Mbessa finally, like, super low, man.
Ooh!
My goodness, dude. Jason finally getting that, dude. Jason sweeping it up right now, dude. Triple kill right there to do all the action.
Yeah, and I mean, I was definitely a bit long-winded in saying it, but I was trying to say that ultimately you're giving a lot of pressure to this Graves for what he can do, and now it's starting to come online. Okay.
Ooh, man. We got the gunsman. We got the gunsman slinging the bullets, and it's just doing all the work. Woojin and Jason. It took Jason a little bit. I think Graves just kind of needed an item or two. He needed the collector. He needed the Yomus, and now we're good to go. Now we're good to go with the 7-1 Caitlyn. We are in a good spot to do mighty damage.
Graves right now is kind of the main damage dealer. Honestly, obviously you have the Caitlyn, so I wouldn't say he's the only damage dealer by even any remote means, but obviously more than enough to keep himself going and keep the whole team online. And right now you have Graves, like I said, those two items enough to make him more of a pressure threat. And I think especially against something like the Ambessa, who's constantly kind of in their face and looking for a lot of ways to deal that upfront damage, you really want the Graves kind of there to kind of just auto-air in her face, shoot a few shotgun shells, and especially limit her vision potentially with the smoke screen. Maybe kind of limit the proccing of an auto attack or two, because as a reminder, that auto attack is exactly how she gets her energy back as her kind of refund. So if she doesn't get off those autos and get that energy back, I think even in that fight you could see that she was actually out of energy for a good chunk of it. Maybe why she didn't get enough damage fast enough, even if it was also, in my opinion, a bad fight to take. It was very quickly done, and honestly came off, I believe it was just Tara getting caught out, if I remember correctly. So either way, given Gawr's first class a chance to come back in here, Seraphine ultimate not quite landing, not going to get anybody else readily available, so we're going to play a bit back. But the gold has, just like game one, started going back to even, only about 1k right now for the Summit admins, especially after the lead they had earlier, which is a pretty massive difference.
Yeah, it's dude, like, I feel like it's like fairly even, but it's feeling a little more dangerous. Like, even though we're down on gold for red team, we have this Hex Dragon, or sorry, the what dragon is this? Dude, I keep wanting to say the Alchemy Dragon.
The Chemtech.
Chemtech, thank you. Yeah, we get the Chemtech soul, so it's like we have. It feels like we have a little bit more of an advantage for red team, to be honest with you, even though we're down a little bit of gold, 500 gold.
Yeah, Chemtech Soul on the squad is also pretty. I don't think that they had it in that fight. I think it's what they got afterwards. But honestly, it's very much kind of a rough sight to see that now that they're playing against it. That's actually teleported in. I don't know. That might have been a little bit overbearing. Hold on, Tarek's still looking. But yeah, no, the Chemtech Soul on the squad is huge. Not only does it mean that you get that little bit of extra damage resistance under 15% HP to stall out before Ambessa maybe takes you down, but something like Volibear who gets the Frenzy Heals, and like Swain who gets a lot of healing off of that Demon Flare, and even potentially speaking to Caitlyn, getting that one extra auto because you have that flat damage resistance is pretty huge. I do definitely think that it makes a big difference for the squad and what they're going to be able to do. And I think even more so when
he's so brave on this Taric jungle. It's hilarious. Like,
yeah,
we're not jumping over the wall with no backup on a Taric, bro. Like, this is absolute madness, dude. I love it. He is
ready to go off. He is ready to go off. Now, we can see very clearly right now from the gold tab, he is 2k down, and the bottom lane is 3k gold down. And meanwhile, the Ambessa up 4.5k. So like I said, it's really a difference of kind of this jungler and bottom side for Gawr's first rate class, whereas on the other side you have the solo laners, particularly the Ambessa, who's really there to say that we can dive on your face, and if you're not careful, those two members that have the gold on Gawr's first rate class are plenty squishy. I would dare say squishy enough for Ambessa to jump on them, lacerate them, and cut them up into pieces.
Yeah, the whole team is like kind of squishy. Like, Volibear is the tankiest person. He's like almost a pseudo tank in a way. Like, he has a lot of survivability to like hold him up. Like, he kind of drops pretty low, but then he gets the shield and the healing to kind of bring him up.
I would just call
But,
him the tank. I would just call him the tank with the spare plus spirit visage at this point. And plus, I believe that tier's
yeah,
going to go into
it's
the
true.
second
Yeah,
tier.
the Spirit Visage is definitely super huge. We have a lot of magic damage actually on the summon admins.
You know, Volibear, you know, Gawr in this game is absolutely just playing full tank. He wants to be in the front. He wants to be kind of stalling out the Taric and possibly the Mbessa and just be there to really kind of be in someone's face and get them off of the Graves and off of the Caitlyn. It's a question of this Mbessa's dash right through him and go on to the other members, especially with Taric ult. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't fully work the way he wants. But that's definitely what this champion is being put here to do. And speaking of which, here's Swain.
Ooh, here we go. We are catching out the Odysseus right now. The Lux Q doesn't quite hit. I think that might have been the nail in the coffin too. If we hit that Lux Q, yeah, I totally would have. Odysseus gets away just in time. Woojin able to pick up gourmet cookies right there. Blue team gonna have to catch off on the back foot now. Gargumba going in tough. We are big bear mode right now. Woojin's gonna come in from the side, hit him with a little flash, get a little double.
Okay.
It's nice. Frost doing a little dodging and weaving right now to pick up Gargumba and back on the back foot. So good job on Frost to pick up a nice little small victory to make it not as bad. But I think it's still more of a win for red team right there. Wine Cake gonna get out. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it's ultimately a 2-for-1 trade, mostly because they just barely missed the kill onto the Swain. You could actually argue, from what you're saying earlier, that it probably was at the cost of that Chemtech Soul, a little bit of extra damage resistance, but under that 50 piece, barely keeping you alive through the Mbessa combo. But with that in mind, yeah, it's still a 2-for-1. Taric definitely, again, kind of, I don't want to say a one-trick pony, but kind of doing his one thing of getting there, enabling Mbessa, and then once his cooldowns are up, once the ultimate's used, he's kind of just running in there just as a larger health target. Now, not for nothing, he did just complete on this back the Iceborne Gauntlet, which I would imagine is a bit of a power spike in only the sense that it means he can stick to somebody better and not for nothing stall out fights.
Nope, right now. Lux. Wow. Woojin, I think that was that a headshot crit? Like that was crazy. That was like half health.
Yeah, that was probably headshot crit combined with Graves auto and the second proc of Q. Definitely a lot of damage going down instantly, but having Lux down right now, I'm not gonna say it. Oh, missing that ultimate on the Mbessa is pretty bad. And yeah, definitely walking in forward that far is also pretty bad.
It was scary stories for Brissy, but we get out almost alive. We just lived for an extra 3 seconds. But
never mind. Yep, nope, that was Brissy making the wrong move. Graves.
Ooh, JC gonna fall down as well. We have the Steamroller online right now with an Ari on top of it to touch it up. It is a dangerous position to be. And now Blue Team gonna take that advantage and hit the Elder.
3v4 fight around Elder. This is not the place you want to be. Wand Cake looking.
All right, here comes the Odysseus ulti. Here comes Caitlyn in the back line. All right, Caitlyn's going to do as much damage as he can. Wine Cake going to drop to the Caitlyn. And oh my goodness.
Look at Caitlyn. Look at that headshot.
Frost super low. And it's going to be enough right after the zone is to pop. Woojin's going to just go on a screw here, man. It's like, we got Woojin full health. We haven't even taken out Odysseus. Like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, Woojin doing
Not
quite.
So close.
Not quite.
It was so close.
That's the second time that Lux has just like, I feel like Tubby is almost there with those takes on the jungle. Like, it's been very close.
Yeah, that was absolutely. I was like, if they had managed to kill it, that would have been absolutely crazy. I think that would honestly put them back into the game fully. Now, given what it is, it's very, very hard to see how this game does not go Gawr's way. The Volibear may be down, but ultimately at this point, we see what happens there. This is the second time that Wand Cake missed the ultimate and then suddenly had a massive cooldown loss. And as much as Mbessa is strong, she has the mobility, she has the means of survivability. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you miss that ultimate, if you miss one of those crucial abilities that gives you that extra dash and that extra bit of movement to move around somewhere, you start to kind of fall off.
It's true, yeah. Like, we could have totally saved that ultimate instead of using it on Brissy for that, like, moment right there, and could have tried to ultimate the Caitlyn, because the Caitlyn was the entire reason why we won that 3v4. It was, pretty embarrassing, honestly, to get swept up in a 3v4 of just, like, letting a Caitlyn free roaming hitting you. And like we are over 10 kills, by the way. Like, we have a 500 gold bounty. Why are we just like letting a Caitlyn slapping us in the face? It's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, not for nothing. This is not. Listen, now this is a 14-1 Caitlyn. We can talk about that another point. But more importantly, that this is a full 5-item Caitlyn, 2 full items over the Corki, and not for nothing, this is now a Bloodthirster Caitlyn. This is one who has a bit of extra shield on top of the Chemtech Soul and that little bit extra ability which gets low. This is going to be a Caitlyn that is a bit too difficult to take down, I think, straight away. we'll have to see exactly how exactly they have if they have any kind of game plan for that matter at all
Red
to
team has
focus her
been
down.
doing a
Because
very solid job at keeping this Caitlyn alive. Like it's like we have to go through this Swain first, and it's like can't even do that, man. Like, so like, what are we talking about? All right, we got the Steamroller though. Maybe the Steamroller can somehow find a way to take this Caitlyn out. Like they've been doing a good job at assassinating everyone this game.
yeah, there's 30 seconds left, I believe, on the Elder buff before it runs out. They just need to try to stop another 20 seconds or so before. So, because if that Elder, if you have a Caitlyn with Elder go through, 2 autos might take somebody down. I think they know it, which is why they might have to actually relinquish this inhibitor. I don't think that they can really do anything to fight. You don't want to risk Caitlyn going through. But Volibear looks like he's going to come
Catch out somebody here. Might be sacrificing an inhibitor for the bear, but we are going to get this bear at any cost if we can. And no, the bear jumps over the wall and we lose the inhibitor anyways. So now we need to somehow make this worth it. We just lost an inhibitor. How are we going to find a victory right here? Red team is still fighting. We are going to catch up back into the side lane. We are going to exhaust gourmet cookies. A wand cake coming into the back side, trying to find something. Jason,
no energy.
Whiskey, and Gawr trying to do it live. The Woojin still full health. We are not letting this Caitlyn get away full health. Kill this Caitlyn, somebody, please. We are so healthy. And now we are going to follow everybody else. Finally, first Caitlyn ulti to be below like 80% HP, and it does wonders. It kills. It is an execution. Good lord. I've been so sick of these Caitlyn ultis at full health. It's been so boring. But that was good. The dodge didn't quite, or happen right there. Sorry, I meant to say the block, but yeah, this might be game over right here.
You know, wand cake right there. Once again, not having the ultimate, burned it for the Volibear and missed again. And immediately after missing it, immediately he gets to a fight here. Like you said, it's not being used on Caitlyn. It's not getting the right of the team. He may get the final kill of the game, but they are not going to win said game. And for all those who said it was new champ pick, I don't know. It seemed like it didn't quite work out when you have it with a Taric jungle.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, it did though. That's the thing. It kind of did work, and I'm just kind of.
Am I like? It's kind of feels weird to like. Why did we even go for the Volibear right there at that last second? We like lost an inhibitor and then just like lost the game right after that fight. That was crazy. I don't know, but all right. Well, we got a game 3 on our hands. 1-1 for both teams, and now it is match points. No matter what happens, the outcome it is going to be a victory for somebody. But who is it? Find out after this break. We will catch you guys very soon. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Summit Premier League Season 5, Week 5. We got Gar's first grade class versus Summit Admins. We are in a Game 3 situation. Each team has one victory on their hands, and it's best of 3. So this is the final game, and we are thirsty for this win.
Yeah, thirsty for the win, and both sides have more than enough to prove. I think that right now, what I'm looking to see is what Guard's first rate class can do, if anything, with a lead early. We clearly see that they seem to have a bit of some rougher early games for themselves on average. Granted, the bottom lane, I think in the second game was a lot better having the extra range over the Corki, but we'll see if they do anything different this time around. Meanwhile, we've now clearly seen kind of in multiple instances on the side of Summit Admins that they seem to need to figure out how to close out those games. Game one, it was very easy with how strong the Gwen was. And those fights were still kind of not going their way until eventually it got too hard to handle. This game, they really need to try to be able to lock down, build their lead, and press the gas down about as fast as they can go and star in the next Fast and Furious movie. So I'm curious to see exactly how they work out. As we see that so far, the bands seem to be pretty much similar. The Skarn and the Soraka still on one side, and this time the Hwei and the Akshan, but switching into the Caitlyn for their third ban, apparently really not liking it, which does beg the question, does Gar's first grade class ban the Corki, thinking that that's going to be what they immediately first pick a second time?
Dude, I don't know if we needed to ban Caitlyn right there. We just needed to focus the Caitlyn. Like, honestly, it's I was about to say, like, we really held it down game one, and game two, we switched things up a little bit. The Ambissa pick was a little ambitious, and it was working out for the most part, but it like was working until it wasn't, until we were like just not focusing correctly. We were missing ultimates, and we were trading inhibitors for kills. It was just kind of like a weird situation, and it's just like now it just kind of feels like no, we weren't wrong. It was the Caitlyn that was like
Oh, the
causing all
switch
this
up?
damage, and
Well, was the switch
now we're
up now
taking away
because
Corki off the board.
yeah, not only taking it away, but this is essentially them picking it for themselves. After
Forgot.
leaving up the Seraphine, and again this time actually Summit Admins, instead of first picking the Corki, decided to first pick the Seraphine for themselves, which was banned in game one. So we'll see if maybe this pick was worth it to them in some way, shape, or form, maybe part of their playstyle. But obviously the Corki getting stolen away from them means that it's going to be a different bottom lane, and this time around it's going to be paired up with what looks like I'm covering. I'm waiting. It is going to be the Braum. So going for the defensive pressure with this Corki, maybe trying to get some early stacks of concussive blows. And more importantly, having that Glacial Fissure means you have what is a pretty good peeling tool and get off me tool for that late game portion of the game against Summon Admins, which granted, given the fact that most of their game plans have been pretty aggressive, I think that that's actually a really good adaptation for Gar's first grade class. Meanwhile, Summon Admins, looks like they want to lock down a hyper carry to be paired with that Seraphine. And to me, I think Jinx is an excellent pairing with it, but never mind. They're going to go for the Sivir, which I don't know if I like that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's super kind of boring, honestly. Like we're just gonna be pushing the lane all game, and like not really much is gonna be happening. Um, I don't really know if I like it either. Actually, like it's just gonna. I feel like it's gonna get to a point where Corky just power spikes and just starts sweeping you up, and it's like the mana shield's not going to do much. And then like that's just that. Like you're kind of like relying on your Seraphine almost to like do something for you to like open up an opportunity, or you're like your jungler or something. Which, by the way, speaking of, well, we have a Poppy jungle again. Was working
Yeah,
out
I mean,
well in game one. Worked out really well.
yeah, Poppy once again being locked in, technically still that flex pick. So we don't fully know where it's going. But yeah, I mean, the Sivir, it's not that even Sivir is bad. It works well with team comps, but something that you kind of set in after you have a game plan in mind. So maybe they already have picks they want to go with it for the extra speed up. We're using that on the hunt. Not so much that, but obviously, like you said, I agree. Corky's going to have a much higher power spec and be much more the traditional kind of high damage, high power to carry, and especially with the Amumu lock in to go with it, they're really picking things to pair together with the Corki and really give him an easy means of just kind of having an easy lockdown target to deal damage to. In the meanwhile, looks like they're going to actually ban away the Gwen, instantly not wanting that for the other side, actually. So they don't want it to be going back into the hands of the top lane. Meanwhile, the instant Vladimir ban, and I'll bet you $20 going to be a Silas ban. And if you don't pay me, then you're just screwed.
Dude, it is totally gonna be a Silas man. Like
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Look, I said it first before you, so now if it gets banned, you owe me $20, and if you don't pay me, then I'm gonna let everyone know that you're not a man of your word.
All right. Well, it's
So
gonna be Strand is running my payroll, so I'm gonna have to just redirect that back to him.
sure,
So
sure. Yeah, that's fair. All right, there you go. All right, there. $20. All right, plus 20 to me. Everyone here is a witness watching on stream. But obviously, no surprise. The both the Gwen and the Abyss are really trying to say whatever you've played before, we don't want to see it a second time. The clearly Guard's first Greek class and a real big problem with the top lane pool right now of the Summit admins. So we'll have to see what exactly they decide to lock in. Both solo laners available and ready for pickup. For the side of Guard, no way you instant lock into Darius. No way you do that. I was gonna say.
I would have loved to see
Aatrox
that.
would be very different, and I would say that's probably, yep, a more convenient lock. And I think there's still a lot to do here. I think Strox, as much as maybe the first three levels of anything are a little bit rough, obviously having that World Ender, using the Darkened Blade for those extra knockups, I think is going to be a really, really good tool. And honestly, just more ways to kind of have someone to stand in front of Corki. This is that they provide a big front line wall at the other two, but at least is a threat they have to focus down.
Aatrox kind of seems like a harder pickup. I feel like, no lie, like Aatrox feels like he'd be way harder to play than the Darius would be in this situation.
Well, I think more what it is, if anything, is the reason why you don't want to pick the Darius here is because actually of the Sivir. The fact that she has the on the hunt, you can just kind of kite him out a lot easier. I think he didn't want to get locked down. It's not like Trox is not as it's not like the Trox is not kiteable, but at the very least, you have the range, you have the knockup on Dark and Blade, you have the pull in with the chains. There's a lot more you can do with Aatrox, I think, in that case. Whereas if you lock in Darius and Sivir on the hunts, the rest of the team, they just run away from you. So maybe that's kind of more what they're going for. The Syndra being picked up for the mid lane, though, as well as the Camille for the top side into the Aatrox. I'm not going to say that's necessarily a good or a bad matchup. I can't say I know entirely for sure, but I think it's definitely a call out saying that fine, if you want to pick the Aatrox, if you want to kind of have this early pressure, I'm going to pick something that wants to be in your face, wants to get that extra shielding, and more than anything, wants to use that Hextech ultimatum to really stick onto you. Meanwhile, for Gar, they're trying to find this last lock in. They're trying to figure out something that's going to go with the Corki and maybe draw a little bit of extra pressure. I saw the Lysandra. I see the Fizz. The Fizz gonna be the
Hmm.
lock in.
Okay.
So something else to really kind of play with this heavy amount of CC, right? With someone's locked down with a Moo ultimate or with a Brawn Glacial Fissure, it's a much easier chum in the waters. It's a very good playful trickster landing. There's a lot that this Fizz can really do with a lot of lockdown given. I think especially against the Syndra. It might be a little bit rough early, obviously. The range differential is going to be very different for him, and especially if he gets hit by a bad scout of the week. But if he's able to properly time that playful trickster, not get stunned by the orb, maybe even land something directly on something like the Sivir late game, or even onto the Seraphine to some extent, I think that
Yeah.
Fizz can really have a lot of success into this team comp, but it's going to have how much they decide to pressure towards locking him down versus trying to lock down the Corki if he gets big himself.
Right. Yeah, no, totally, most definitely. I'm really liking the Fizz pick, actually, like you're saying. Like, you can really open up your opportunities for Syndra, Sivir, Seraphine, Poppy, and Camille. And like Gourmet Cookies, he's been positioning himself very, very smartly, but it's like when you got five members and you have like such a mobile Fizz running around, you can only do so much. So like it really kind of opens those gates. It's like, all right, we got Syndra here, we got Sivir here, we got Seraphine here. Who knows? Like there's a lot of opportunities for Fizz right now. So I'm really liking that pick. I do like the Syndra pick too, though. Syndra's I'm a little biased. I used to play Syndra back on release in the very old days of League. I'm a Boomer League player, so um,
Yeah, yeah. Syndra, I feel like is the champion that anyone that has like less than a year played in league goes against. Like, I don't know what to do against her. She has so much range with the orbs, and she stuns me, and then I'm just dead to the ultimate. Like everyone, everyone always hates Syndra when they
mhm.
don't really know exactly what she's doing. Eventually, listen, I don't even say whether you're boomer or now. Like Syndra has kind of stood the test of time, very much kind of like an Oriana style to me. It must
She's
have
good.
do
Yeah,
must
you
must,
hit your
must
you hit your orbs and you do a bunch of damage. But Fizz is like a great response pick to her because it's
Oh,
just like
absolutely, right. Yeah,
just
Fizz
one
is definitely
ability counters everything.
yeah, I think even if this whole team Fizz does really well, I think that obviously most of these champs, maybe technically minus Camille and Poppy, with kind of the ways they have the dash on their E, are relatively immobile. They're very good targets for Chum in the waters. The most that I would argue about this comp that maybe is a little bit scary is that honestly, Poppy has really, really good uses of that steadfast presence. Technically, every single member on this team can be stopped by the Poppy W, and especially things like the Amumu or like the Fizz. Like, if Fizz gets stopped mid search and strike, or Amumu doesn't get to his full target via bandage toss and doesn't get off a good ultimate, there are lots of ways that Poppy can kind of disrupt this. If not through the use of Keeper's Verdict, then just more through stopping them in their tracks on a dash. That I think that Poppy does really well into this comp. I think Camille has good damage, but I'm not sure exactly who she jumps onto. Fizz is going to be hard to lock down. Corky's going to have a lot of protection on him. I think that submit admins in terms of composition, they're a little bit all over the place in comparison to Gar's first grade class. I think that the Fizz does really well. I think the Amumu lockdown and the Braum being a big wall does really well for the Corki, who's going to eventually scale up. I think that this is definitely a team comp that Gar has built to last into that mid to late game. But I think that it's going to be a matter of can they get there, or is it going to be similar to the other two games where they kind of falter a bit early and start to coin flip?
All right, we're going to start this game very soon, everybody. We're going to take a small little intermission and we are going to get to this game three action. Welcome back, everybody. We are in the final game for Summit Premier League Week 5 for Gawr's first grade class versus Summit Admins. 1-1, and we now want this victory. What are we going to do? Game number 1, we had a 5-sec. Someone got a first blood, and now we have potentially some top lane shenanigans. I don't know what gimmicks blue team is cooking up, but we have another 5-stack in the top bush. We fight for it, we get it, and now we are going Riverside. This might be Goodnight Aatrox. Garguma just dancing.
Let's
Oh
see.
no, not like this.
Hook shot.
Here comes
Oh, he lands it.
Getting it out. No, the nice flash from Gargumba. Thank goodness we were ready. We were just emote spamming. What if there was a world where they were just completely just like zoomed in, just emote spamming, and like that was what happened? That would have been so funny. But we are aware. We're ready.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been the way you wanted this to start off. But I mean, listen, hey, if nothing else, it's a flash burn, and especially on a Camille. Not for nothing, it's also a Camille that now has started hookshot, which means that really there's only kind of one thing for her to do. I mean, granted, it's not that hookshot's a bad start option, but I think it's definitely the lowest of the three.
But is like allergic to flash.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, yeah, you're right. This is Juan's third game in a row not going a flash-based top laner. Juan something with the aggression and the mobility to go that Ignite TP. So, if nothing else, I mean, obviously, it just means that both don't have flash, but now Juan can go back and it's just going to make the trade.
Juan doesn't need flash. Like, flash may be Riot's move to make plays, but Juan doesn't need it. Juan will be making plays at level 1 with no flash, like...
Oh wait, hold on, wait. Junglers are with each other. Hold on.
Like, what is going on right now? We have a level advantage. We are in the enemy jungle making gourmet cookies flash, and I think we took the red buff too while we're at it. Dude, this is just golden, man.
If there,
come on.
Oh, okay, hold on, and then we have a pause. I was gonna say, if there was ever gonna be a game to start with that early lead, it is gonna be on this one, taking away that pressure on cookies with the red buff steal, and then. Not for nothing. Apparently, there was a 1K ping
that is
on the Poppy, which is why there was no trading there.
I thought that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, top lane. Okay.
Say, like...
Okay. Fair enough.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, something going on. So we do a little bit of a pause, but either way, we can talk about the fact that Amumu taking that that red buff is insane. And actually, not for nothing. If I'm looking at the CS numbers right, I think he started by taking Poppy's Raptors. Because he has 8 CS and Poppy doesn't have a Raptor camp.
Yeah, dude, I was like, what? How is this even possible right now?
Yeah, I think he took Raptors and then looped around and got the red buff. So we are out of the pause, thankfully. But wow, if that's not sorry, this is just a buffering. But wow, if that's not a start for an Amumu to take away Poppy's red buff and take away the Raptors, and she immediately is backing. She's not even gonna have a camp taken. This is literally just a like a minute and a half delay on Poppy's jungle clear, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I thought that pause was gonna be just so Poppy could send Jason a message to stop bullying him and give him back the lunch money that he took. But no, so we're back at it. We hit the level 2 advantage on this red team, but it's only for like a second or two, and then back to normal. But little fights going on right now. A little trade happening. Woojin taking a little bit of damage. Stran over. It was kind of equal right there. Maybe a little bit of an advantage for the red team, but
yeah, still a little bit of damage on the. Also, yeah, still a little bit of damage on the Corki, able to kind of use that extra advantage on the auto attacks, and obviously getting the Gatling gun shred. So there's a lot to be said about what exactly he's going to be able to do. And we hope that Sarah from this mention has kind of gets the heal up. To trade that around. He's getting a little bit of trade in the mid lane as well. Looks like 1K going for a little bit of a trade here.
Yo, the tower dive. We pick up the first blood. The tower is going to give him back, but we have a thumbs up to seal the deal. That first blood or gold advantage, that's a W.
Well, yeah, not only is that a W for that reason, it's also because obviously he did it under his own turret. For those of you who are looking for a little bit of more like wave information. You always want to try to get the kill when the enemy turret is pushed in. It means that more minions die to turret aggro. It means they lose some experience, and this is going to be exactly the kind of lead that you want. As in, like the Camille, you have the farm lead, you have the experience lead now, and not for nothing, because you don't have that flash, you still have the teleport. You usually be able to just walk back to lane, and maybe even take another aggressive trade, teleport right back in, and use it to its advantage. Actually, we can see on the mini map, deciding to go more towards the Amumu, who's on the scuttle crowd. They might be trying to catch him out.
Ooh, Jason with a nice slash right there. Almost got caught in a weird spot. But we're chilling.
Yeah, exactly what they did there was that they saw a Mumu going towards the scuttle crab, and Camille said instead of going to lane, she just immediately ran right there, tried to catch him out, and thankfully it did work. Burned the flash, which is, especially right now, a pretty crucial summon spell for the Mumu, who does want to gank with that bandage toss. So I'd say a pretty good trade overall. Camille definitely losing a bit more in the experience, maybe not getting kind of the experience we were hoping that she would, but it is still a trade that you could dare say makes a lot of sense and gives a lot of pressure towards this top side of the map.
Dude, these pokes are they're early game, but they're starting to get kind of annoying, man. This Quirky's got to be feeling it. He's probably audibly said something already to Brissy. Probably been like,
now's the time.
I'm sick of this, man.
Yeah,
Jason, not seen right now. Can he get in for a good angle? There, it's got to be. It's got to be right there. Going.
Come on.
He's waiting. The patience on Jason.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Hold on. Bandage toss is available. Gets it,
dude. Oh,
no.
Okay, I was gonna say like, that was so smart to wait right there because like I totally didn't even think about Camille just like Indiana Jones just whipping your way back into safety, and he really saved that bandage toss for when they ran away.
Yep, nope, exactly. That was the idea, and not for nothing. Camille having not burned that teleport before, this is exactly why she didn't want to do it. The Res is able to kind of get teleport back to lane, not lose any farm. If anything, I was actually going to say I'm surprised that Gawr didn't go ahead and maybe try to let the lane shove into him to lose a bit of extra CS for the Camille, but either way, it works out just fine. Camille gets shoved in, she burns the teleport, and now we see Fizz popping the chum.
We're getting caught by a Fizz ulti right now, and the Fizz is jumping on her face, but we have guard.
That's that fast presence.
Gourmet Cookies to back us up right now. Frost, unfortunately, still going to drop down. Gourmet Cookies wasn't able to save their mid laner, and Jason backs up their mid laner.
There's a slow playful trickster.
This might be a double kill for Odysseus right now. Can we find the bandage toss? Ooh, we're not in range too, so. But well played by Odysseus there. He's able to find that little assassination, little skirmish in mid. So good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff by the Fizz there. Obviously able to go in and get that extra damage. Managed to lynch on the waters at near max range, I think, if I looked at the size correctly, on the Syndra. And then, even with the Poppy, knowing that, okay, she does have that differential in gold. They know that she didn't have a red buff, that she's kind of down in experience in gold. So he said, you know what? I can stay on this. I didn't get stunned up by the heroic charge. I know that the steadfast presence is down. I'm just going to stick to her. And honestly, there was a world where if a Mumu, for example, had that flash, didn't burn earlier, maybe they could have even gotten further. But either way, managing to stall out, get the kill on the Syndra, and in response, it looks like Cookies, after not dying to the Fizz and the Mumu, is going to go ahead and get some grubs for himself. Looks like uncontested.
Yeah, trying to cook up something here. We need to cook up something fresh. We got the void grubs. That's good, but other than that, yeah, not really too much happening. Gourmet Cookies actually, he's going in for a little bit of a not counter jungle, but he's getting that Jade right now, sweeping up the enemy jungle. Oh no, Syndra's getting caught by another Fizz ultimate, but Gourmet Cookies here this time with Lord Tubbyton. This is it. Yep, this is where we get the counter. But now Fizz is just annoying. Just presses E, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Get your support.
A lot of saying that's gonna be a Tubbyton. Tubbyton in a rough spot there, tries to walk and gets a little bit too far forward and on basically the wrong side of the map. So another kill going back over. Oh, Syndra, hold on.
Oh, bro, you gonna reverse it out? Nope. Fizz just ease. And what are you gonna do?
Yep, that's what happens. The beauty of the playful trickster is truly being able to just say, nope, nuh-uh, I don't want that damage. I'm gonna run away. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, bro, this Fizz doesn't have to do much. He's just been standing there in that same spot, absolutely menacingly. What a Giga Chad, dude! Like, just completely standing on business. Doesn't even care, bro. Like, yeah, it's so annoying. Like, next time Syndra throws out anything, just E. Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
wait a minute, a move.
Wait, what?
That bandage toss kept him in range, but that was beautiful. And then pops the ultimate as well to pick
Dude,
up Poppy. What
was that
is going
planned?
on here, man?
Jason totally skipped the third eye and opened his fourth eye, man. That was wild.
Wow, my man managed to stay on the dragon with a well-timed bandage toss, does not get put away by the Poppy ult, and now secures the
Peach,
Drake, and
bro.
not for nothing, sets Poppy even further behind. This is a 15 CS up a Moo of all
I
things
straight up thought that
against
was
this
a
Poppy
glitch.
jungle.
I was like, what even happened? I couldn't even tell what happened, dude. He totally read the Bobby ultimate. Like,
Oh, wait a minute, hold on, wait, we got a little more going on. I thought we did until the scout of the week happened, and then nothing happened.
yeah, we're making some plays happening right now. Like, it seems kind of low key, but like it's actually super big brain. We are playing 4D chess. We are skipping League of Legends and playing totally different games right now. Checkers on chess, chess on checkers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Gawr's first grade class absolutely showing that they are ready to graduate even to the second grade at this point, as they might. I mean, listen, at least to me, they're setting up to win the second game that they need to of the series. Most of these games, we've usually seen the Summit admin team really start to kind of build themselves up, and not for nothing, really, start to increase their lead through some early tempo. Right now, we're kind of not seeing as much as that. Camille definitely doing a little bit of it, but not nearly as much as before. Poppy clearly set far behind by the Amumu based on that early pressure. And even the mid lane, Frost starting to be eaten with Odysseus in terms of farm. He may have the kill disadvantage, but Syndra is still doing plenty in terms of keeping himself present. And even the bottom lane actually even on par. This is the first game where there is not a massive CS differential and other places of the map, and everything's kind of played pretty even. It's just that now, this time, Gawr's first grade class able to get the kill.
I'm trying to give Lucian some solo XP here. Bressy running around looking for wards, looking for opportunities. Speaking
Ooh,
of opportunities, we might have a little tower dive ski happening. Oh, Wancade. Oh, solo Dolo. Oh, not quite solo. Gourmet cookies coming in just like always. It's a tale that you never love to.
Oh, the Camille.
Oh man, that Camille is brutal.
Come on, here comes
Oh,
Fizz.
God. All right, here's the tower dive. Strand coming in tough. Or
Oh!
sorry, Lucian coming in tough. But Frost with the backup, man. We are very aware of our map positioning, and Frost with a nice reverse, and that's gonna be big. Who got the kill? Was that Strand that got the kill? That was nice.
Yeah, just as I gave all of the benefit of the doubt to this Gawr's first grade class and their ability to kind of keep the game less so on the back foot, Summit admins immediately take the step forward, get those 2 kills on a failed die that they try to kind of overset their tempo, and now the gold lead has shifted once again back
It's
into the
Jason
Summit
built
admin
full
squad.
glass cannon and Mumu. Now that he's got the most money on this game. Like, he's got the mask. Like, what are we building after this? Are we going tank and Mumu after the mask, or are we just completely putting all our chips in the basket of damage?
No, I think it almost always goes for Tankamu after the mask. You build that because of the AP and because of all the max health damage, and obviously you already have that with your Despair. So you really do want to kind of double stack on that in that sense. But after that point, you're almost always on the side of the move going for the tank stats because you want to be able to live and really kind of stall these fights and build that burn for longer. That said, he does end up picking up only 2 of the grubs. One of them still into the Summit admin, so this ends up being a 4 grub versus 2. It means there are some Void Mites that can spawn. As meanwhile, some of the water's gonna try to land.
Oh, okay. Flashing after the E. Oh, flashing again.
Still going.
Oh, man, what is?
Nope.
Brett. Oh man, we cannot catch this Fizz right now, man. After we think we have him, we just do not have him, bro. It's too bad. We have this Braum though, right? We have this Braum though, right?
We don't have the Braum up. Nope.
We definitely do not have this Braum. Okay.
Nope. The Cupcake might have the Amumu. Goes to the flash.
We have the Mumu though, right? Yes, we do. We got the shutdown on Jason. Nice little, what was that, 150 or 200? I can't remember. A little bit of chunk though. We take those.
A little bit of a chunk based off of that shutdown gold. Poppy immediately getting back into this game after that rough early game disparity. Hasn't completed Son of Sky to go against what was Amumu's Leandries, and ultimately that just came down to a well-timed flash when you knew Amumu burned the flash, in the mid lane. It ended up not really amounting to anything, so you knew he was flashless, you knew that he was low, and popped his wave at the right time to get against the wall and pick up the early kill. And now it is going to be an evened out, roughly at least, goal disparity in the jungle. The only real disparity right now for Summit admins remains in the top side, where Camille is having a bit of CS lead and still that kill lead onto the Aatrox in response.
Yeah. I feel like that little shutdown kind of really set it off, but it's pretty much an even game for the most part. We might see some real snowball action happen pretty soon here, though. Only one dragon has been taken off the map. We're gonna find out what soul here it's gonna be after this next dragon. So that could potentially change.
Teleport.
That was a nice little knockup though from Poppy right there.
Double teleport.
Double TP coming in. Doesn't really spark much happening though. Together, might be
oh, there we go.
Oh no, Brissy getting caught out on the side, and there's no members to back him up right there. Unfortunately, gets totally trapped in the Camille ultimate. He's like a stuck mouse. Unlucky, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brissy getting caught out there does mean they have a lot less potential to fight for this Drake now. Mumu is here, but I don't think he wants to go in there on his own. Looks like Yashi might look for it. Goes to Bandage Toss.
Oh man, Jason trying to look for that Dragon Seal though, doesn't find it. He's going to get taken out, unfortunately. And now the blue team is going to be trying to tear up the rest of this red team right now. They are broken apart. They are down a couple members, and they're going to try to recuperate this loss right now that they took. Just 2 members and a dragon down. It's not the end of the world, but they need to make up for it somehow.
Yeah, Gawr's first grade class kind of starting to fall apart at the seams here. Amumu, after only 1 death, immediately start thinking that he can still be Superman and not realizing there's a whole team in that pit. Doesn't quite have the damage taken out and doesn't quite get the smite off. Now we see that we're in just a rough spot here on the fight, if only because we see that some of the admins are starting to take the lead, the top side starting to build, and not for nothing, the Sivir, who we haven't really talked about much, 2-0-2, has a completed Essence Reaver in comparison to the Triforce, and I think she has a good amount of gold in her pocket as well, because she still has it back since well before that dragon fight, so...
Yeah.
Getting this turret,
I feel like we really invested into trying to fight off that dragon as the red team, and it left the Rift Herald open, the Rift Herald, so... that's still going on right now. We might see a fight here for that soon, but in the meantime, blue team taking out that bot tower while they have the advantage and they have the pressure. Good for them.
Yeah, right now we need to see exactly what they're
Gawr, Goomba, and Jason picking something up here. Wonke is just going to Indiana Jones their way out, totally whipping against the walls and totally finding a sweet safety net.
Yep, yeah, the use of that Camille hookshot is really why 1K is getting away with the third flashless game. It shows us the idea that you know that you have the hookshot, you have the ability to dodge out, and especially if you hit on the right wall, you can get away from pretty much anywhere from almost any distance, especially to like an Aatrox, who really, besides the small knock on the Dark Blade and obviously having those chains, really doesn't have too much else to help lock you down. So at the very least, Trox actually teleporting in, it looks like, or no, sorry, it's impacting. But it does at least take his way back from lane, gets himself a little bit more under his belt. Doesn't quite have completed boots, still definitely an item disparity, but working his way through as we see the bottom lane take their own outer turret, so Porky get a bit will go in his pocket as well, trying to match Sivir, where it looks like she'll have her second item probably on next back, whereas he's still quite a ways away from that.
Right. Trying to click up mid right here. Frost gonna get caught out a little bit right there. So, or sorry, it doesn't really get caught out, but it uses the flash. And we are trading this bot tower for the Rift Herald. At least okay, yeah, there it goes. Finally goes down. I was about to start questioning. I was like, we just gave up this bot tower right after we got a free one, but no, we get the Rift Herald too. So both objectives going to blue side, or the jungle objectives, I should say. Now we got a top lane Gankski tower dive going in. Potentially Gourmet Cookies. He's ready.
I'm not sure Corey wants to take that.
This is for the backup, but the other 2 members of the blue team are going for the long side. They will catch up for the revenge kill, possibly. Theseus drops super low, but not enough. They do not catch the Fizz. Oh no, and the revenge kill doesn't get picked up. But we got Goomba though. Gawr Goomba though. We are staying on.
No, Fizz.
Man, these enchanters, we are getting kept alive right now. It's actually crazy. I did not think that they were going to die like that, but here we are.
Yes, there's a couple things going on there, okay? I think that... Oh, wait, hold on. We're still not done.
We are going 1v3 status, going in with the bandage toss. We have all the AP in the world. We do not care. 1v3 action doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Making plays happen. Oh, but a wand cake's coming back in. We need to make the double vengeance happening. This is like a crazy M. Night Shyamalan movie. All
Arcade.
these comebacks and all these. Oh, we don't even know what's gonna happen next. It's just like reverse after reverse.
Yeah, honestly, okay, so it's a lot to unpack here. Okay, so first let's talk about Goomba. Goomba definitely did a great job of stalling out for Fizz going and not going down. The problem was that he himself was not that tanky. He already burned his clip shield at the start of that exchange and planned for anything else to be through it. And then at that point, he's kind of didn't have much else to save for himself. Trox's starting to. Oh, Poppy makes it out. Wait, no, she doesn't. Hold on.
Oh man, okay.
Watch on the waters.
Are we gonna really tower dive though? Are we really tower diving this right
No,
now?
I don't think so.
I don't
Yeah, I was
think
about to
we
say
are.
not a good
crazy.
call. Oh God, this still.
Are we
okay,
really
so-
chasing back down? Yeah, okay. No, I didn't think
Yeah,
we
yeah. I was
were.
about to say. I think that's where it ends. I don't think it goes further than that. But I was gonna say, yeah, Trox's body blocking was good. Staying for the rest of the fight, not good. Should have retreated back to the turret, and then obviously just kind of exchanged and went back and forth. The gold tab showing us very clearly that it seems like the gold lead is just overall like 500 to 200 gold with pretty much anybody on Summit Admins, with the exception of Wand Cake, with that clear kind of 1.5k lead right now on the Aatrox. Definitely use that early pressure to his advantage with no flash on Trox. And now we just need to see exactly the way the rest of the team is going to play this out, because currently we have a situation where Sivir, as much as we were kind of saying Sivir's, oh, hold on.
Oh, bro, I'm in a bad spot right now. Falling up the shield's not going to be enough. First, going to fall. This is bad timing too. The dragon has just spawned. All right, Gourmet Cookie's going to start it up. All the rest of the blue team going to try to scout out more picks. They might be finding Jason in a weird spot right now. We're locking up with the CC, getting put down, and that is good night, Jason. So that is going to be a dragon seal for blue team. And now we're earning a bigger gold lead right now.
Yeah, the beauty of that Camille ultimate is that while it may not quite be immediate lockdown, it still keeps somebody confined to a singular space. And when you have something like a Seraphine or like a Sivir who really just needs that tiny bit of a window, that's truly all you need, even if it's not full and permanent lockdown. Now the Baron has spawned, but like you said, Drake is up. Poppy is taking it solo. That is going to be Ocean Drake. And we didn't talk about it earlier, but we do know it's going to be Ocean Soul. And I would dare say that this blue side or red side, if either of them get Ocean Soul, the fight definitely gets immediately harder for all of them, because it seems like neither of these, you could argue besides the Fizz, who really is there for burst damage, neither of these comps are really kind of immediate 100 to 0 in 2 seconds comp. Hold on.
Burst damage right now. Lord Tubby flashing away just for safety. Doesn't take too much damage, fortunately, but does eat a Fizz ulti and an Ignite.
Yeah, definitely. But I was gonna say, yeah, like maybe besides the Fizz, none of these characters are really here to go for immediate in 2 seconds 100 to 0. Syndra definitely bursts down very well with the unleashed power. Muumu's gonna go on to Poppy, and now we do it.
Oh, was that a Poppy ultimate just now? That was crazy. Jason gets taken out immediately, man. All 5 members are super ready on the blue squad. All right. Well, now that Jason's down, we are going for Baron. Locking up the Baron, and is Red Team going to fight this?
I would be very surprised if they did, or at least try to do anything that wasn't just poking the bar. I think you have Camille, you have even Poppy, even without the ult, Poppy can still pet somebody out very well. You obviously have that Sivir on the hunt. They know all the cooldowns are down, so maybe it's the reason why they would try, but I think you can already see from the positioning they're not really trying to do much. Fizz maybe trying to walk around. Has ultimate about to spawn, is still on cooldown for another second or so, maybe a few seconds, but not going to be enough.
Snipe, 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 snipe. Oh, okay. That would have been crazy.
Poppy had no smite. Oh shit, that could have gone real bad.
I was kind of hoping that we would have gotten the snipe from the Braum out of everybody, just to like, you know,
yeah, dude,
really make it as painful as possible.
Yeah, dude, that Winter's Bite, 150 damage, just barely. Truly tragic. We did see Camille burn the teleport to go down the tree to Trox to stop him getting that inner turret, and so it looks like he was going to have to back off. Trox hoping to get a little bit extra farm to kind of make up his differential, but clearly right now, Camille, I believe that is 2 full items at this point, not going to be able to be deterred oh so easily. Especially when you consider the fact that right now in this state of the game, Summit Admins over 5k gold lead, finally kind of in this more definitive, we have a gold lead, we know who's in the lead kind of game. And I would dare say this is the worst time to have it happen being on series point.
Yeah, it's looking rough, but I feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel for Red Team here. Oh, but not if we do that. Not if we do that.
Nope, not if we do that. That is going to get kind of get you killed, especially with Fizz.
Yeah, that light is fading. Fading
okay.
pretty fast. Ooh, yeah, that light. Ooh.
Okay, Trox.
Okay, wait a minute.
Some stuff.
Wait a minute.
Nope, nope.
And okay, yeah, we're no longer waiting. Yep. The
Ooh,
line of
Eddie even gets
interference
out.
our
Wow,
corner
Eddie
didn't
can get out.
collapse
Oh
when we
no.
released that.
Oh no, Juan's waiting. Oh no.
Okay. So we have a, full team ace, and we got 0 kills from that. So, it's looking pretty tough. Pretty tough here.
Yeah, this is definitely starting to get a lot rougher for the side. I'm not even 100% sure what else they're going to be able to do to stop the bleeding. I think that at this point, Poppy isn't even really tanky. Only really has the Sundered Sky, but is enough at this point in just levels and experience she can kind of sit to any target. Syndra having the Storm Surge completed to go with the lead, and she has enough burst damage to really get someone focused down. And I would dare say that Camille is just slippery at this point, man. She has the Ravenous Hydra, she has her ultimate readily available, she has the Triforce for immediate damage. There's just so much this comp can do in such a little period of time. And not for nothing, has the mobility, which I hate to say it, with the Sivir on the hunt to kind of dance around the rest of the squad. And I know I was just saying earlier that maybe like the Ocean Soul is good because, ooh,
Wait
hold
a
on,
minute.
that's a long range Vanitas.
Oh my goodness, man.
But it made
Camille is
it.
doing so much.
Yep, I was going to say, call an ambulance, but not for her.
Bruh, Brissy knocks up everybody, but it's just, I don't know.
Fight's not over yet.
And we are slamming the Q button as hard as we possibly can.
Oh, Juan might be taken down here.
Stormy Cookie's eating up a little bit. Ujin.
Cross.
Okay. Okay, we're actually getting shutdowns now. We're getting kills. We're getting shutdowns. Oh my goodness. Okay. That light might just have come back.
Yep, I was about to say, yeah. I mean, listen, the light, the light is very, very dim. The light is still hidden behind a shroud of 8,000 gold that is still available even after shutdown gold going into the pocket of Gawr's first grade class. But hey, listen, okay, a chance is a chance, and even when you look at the gold, it's actually it is almost exactly 2K for all three of the top jungle and mid, and then 1.5K roughly for both of the others. So that's about where that number is coming from. And for sure, this is still a game where I think that Gawr is absolutely on the back, but they need to look for more picks like that. And it looks like they're trying to even up the neutral objectives right now. So Nunu's going to be waiting on the Drake. The question is, does it get stopped? And I don't think Pop is going to make it here in time. So at the very least, they do even up the Drake score. They keep the neutral objectives. Well, I
Wait a minute. Oh, man. That would have been
that was so close. That was so close.
W has been like low-key on, like he hasn't gotten any steals yet, but he's been so close and been like, I'm telling you,
not there.
right there.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. One Cake might have found Odysseus. Hold on. He's trying to walk away for his life. Nope, but there's someone else right here to pick him up.
Like Tubbyton on those jungle steals reminds me of like when you're at Chuck E. Cheese and you're trying to like get that one machine that it's like you line up the little light perfectly on the time and you're just pressing the button and he's just like literally
Stacker?
one light off like every time, bro. It's just like so frustrating, but like he's there, man. I'm telling you.
Oh wait,
Anyway,
you're talking Sacker or like the tower one? Because I know there's two ones that all have the same kind of gimmick. Like you have to.
it's like a big circle and like a light goes around like a big ring and you have to. Like,
the whole like spin to win wheel.
I swear, every time you do it, you get like so close. You're just like one little tick off, and like that's Tubby with like the jungle steals. He's like just right there, man. I'm telling you.
Listen, man. Not to brag, I used to be the kid people gave their cards to land that 1,000 ticket one every time. I'm just saying. That was me.
Yeah, the timing on lock. The timing was downloaded.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
production has informed. Production has informed.
Chuck E. Cheese is rigged, so don't go to Chuck E. Cheese if you want all your tokens and your money taken from you.
Well, listen, our production can call it rigged. I call it skill issue. That's what 13-year-old Andrew says. But let's get back to the game of League of Legends instead. Before production mutes me for that comment. Right now, we see a very clear gold lead still in the hands of the Summit admins, and not for nothing, this is very much just kind of a choke out game. You can see that Camille finished up the Steract. Poppy now has the Dead Man's Plate. Very, very quick to run. He's targeting Syndra. Finishing up the Void Staff means that even through anyone who does get MR, which granted so far there's actually 0 MR built onto the entirety of the side of Gawr's first grade class, so maybe they kind of skipped that MR based class coursework.
This is the MR list challenge that they're going through. It's like a TikTok challenge that they saw, and they're trying to like do it live in the Summit game right now. So I'm here for it.
You know what, man? You're not wrong, especially considering the fact that right now that means that Syndra is basically uncontested in terms of the amount of damage she can deal. So unless you decide to put more focus on her in these fights, which is really hard to when you have Camille and Poppy in your face, I'm really not sure what they're going to be doing about that in the immediate future, especially if they don't do something sooner rather than later at this point.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to try to like prepare for a Baron fight. pretty soon here. Both the top laners, well, I will say not both of them quite yet, but teleport just about online. Garguma is going to come up here in just a second. So it's Baron fight looking pretty soon here. We might not even be using our teleports actually.
I'm not sure
Well,
if this is
Aatrox
even a.
definitely will, but I think the community kind of like just slowly kind of itching their way up towards the Baron pit.
Yeah, Camille's just
Are we
looking for a
gonna
different way
unlock
in.
right
Looks like
here?
we
Oh
might
no,
find one
Jason might
now.
be caught in a weird spot.
Trying to
The
look
team
at some.
comes back, but we might be able to
Oh,
re-engage.
wait, one cake.
Okay, there's the re-engage. We got the ulti off on a bunch of members.
Oh no.
Red team gonna come in though. They're not gonna be able to do enough damage though. Blue team is just tearing apart red team right now. Jason drops.
Oh!
Mercy's about to drop. Woojin gets out safely, but out of his two members from red team down, and blue team is looking very healthy, so they're gonna take this Baron now.
Yep, and not for nothing, one of those members is in fact the Amumu who got caught out in his own jungle, which means that now this is going to be a smiteless contest onto the Baron. So unless this is the time where Corki gets a crazy big one steal or Fizz gets a huge chum of the waters while being nowhere near the Baron pit, I think this is going to be Baron going down into the summon admin's hand, and this is going to become an immediately, I don't want to say impossible, but I am slowly but surely losing ways for Gawr's first quick class midway back into this game. The top side differential is starting to become way too strong. Poppy having the complete force of nature means even a Moo's damage kind of slowly gets resisted against ever but slowly. And Sivir just pushing so far ahead. Here we go.
Yep, this is a dangerous spot right here for Odysseus. Actually, he's going back in right now. He's doing big damage too now. He's got the support of Jason. Jason flashes in with the Q.
Oh!
Wow, man, what?
That's that Hextech protocol, man.
We are not for real right now, man. We are not for real for the Camille, bruh. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, listen, man. A Camille who's given 3.5 items and is able to get all that true damage on auto attack can do some crazy things. Even the jungle right now, we see that looks like Trox is getting jumped on as well, which is clearly down in experience, down in level. There's a lot that's going on this map.
Dude, Wancake's been a beast this series, man. Like every champion,
Absolutely,
he's a complete boss.
Yeah, he is 100% bringing the whole team on his back, I would dare say, especially just not even necessarily by purely like team by pressure, just by pressure that he's delivering on the map in these solo lanes. You know, first game it was Gwen kind of drawing a lot of pressure through. Now it's Camille who's slowly been looking at what she can do.
Yeah, it's gonna be first tower down, and you know, I'm kind of feeling like this is a Summit admin's game right here. Only way I see it going the other way is if for some reason they just let it drag on, and they let it go to like maybe like a 40-minute game for whatever reason, and they just do not pick up the soul point for somehow Gawr's class gets the soul point and maybe even the Elder. That's the only way I see it happening, but it would just have to be a complete flop for some admins to just let 3 dragons go at this point. You know what I mean? Like, they are in a really good spot. They've been catching Jason out, and here again,
hold on.
Here's the tell. Jason gets caught out again, and he's a pretty big leading factor for this team. He's one of the shot callers. He's one of the playmakers. So when you take out Jason of the equation, it's,
There's Corky's done. Yep, and grounded.
You can see their heads cut off, to be honest. And
see, hold on.
there we go. Yep.
Fizz in the back.
In the top, Fizz trying to be the only hope, but he's exhausted.
Oh
Can't
my
really do
god,
much.
I'm populous.
And yeah, can't do much with that point. And then yeah, that was without wand cake. So like, if you can't do that without wand cake, then it's probably game over. 3 inhibitors down. That's most likely game. And that's it. They close it out. Summit admins close out the series. It was a good fought game, game 3. Amazing series. But here we are. Here we are.
Wand
The
Cake's
Summit
died.
admins, they do it live.
Wow. Just like that, game goes the way of Summit admins. And like I said, you know, Summit admins have to win. That's how, I mean, listen, I don't know about you, that's how I'm getting paid. So I knew Summit admins were going to have this game at the end of the day. But
It's
no,
true.
at the end of the day,
Our jobs.
a lot. Yeah, listen. Hey, look, I will give this. I will give credit to Guards First Rate Class where it's worth. They had the early game on lockdown. You had the pressure on the Poppy. You were able to kind of use the Fizz to get that early kill onto Syndra, and even giving another kill onto the Poppy off of that jungle trade. So clearly, their early game was a lot better and a lot more put together. Just eventually, like you said, One Cakes really came together, and definitely, the Sivir really started to come online a lot better, I think, than I expected. And eventually, what it did, you had the on the hunt to really kind of accelerate the rest of the team to just move and just rush everybody down on this side of Gar's first grade class. So lot of credit to Summit admins for making the comp work. And while I do have to give some also credit to Gars for staying true in those first two games, this one just wasn't in the cards, it seems.
Yep, it was a well played series indeed. But in the end, we have the Summit admins. They're the victors. So well played to them. Shouts out to them. But yeah, good games overall. And for that, we close out the night. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in for us. Later.